welcome back. Hey, how are you? Lovely to see you. Session 78 of Kingslayers. It's wild to think we're this far into it. Hey, Sweet Pea, what's up? Last we left off, we kind of got into a point where the party had made their way to the College of Sakti-Lavia, a place of music and merriment, but behind the scenes, quite the deal house for the Raha Shir. Donovan had made contact with the leader, Naya Kul, also a person who goes by the name Sahiri, quite known to the party, but not known to the rest of the party that they are the leader of the Raha Shir. After that, games were played, cards were dealt, secrets were divulged, and the God of Secrets showed up to have a bit of roughhousing around the Kingfishers, offering answers to questions for each of them, and then delighting in the chaos that it was ensuing. A conversation was had with Donovan to Zamani, and then a bedtime story told to Calicindir. So Calicindir, as you are tucked in and kissed on the forehead goodnight, Xerxes begins to walk out of the room.
Wait, 1 second, Xerxes. Not one question, but question. I mean, you tell me this whole story, this whole bedtime story, as it were, but why tell me? Why tell me this in the first place?
Because no one will ever believe you.
Perhaps, but I believe it.
It's just a bedtime story, Calicindir.
I suppose. Although I don't know how much sleep I'll be getting afterwards, but it's a lot to think on, even if it is just a tale.
Very long night ahead of you.
I must warn you though, Xerxes. The next time we meet, I'll have a lot of questions to ask you by that stage, so prepare yourself.
I would expect nothing less at this stage. It is good to finally regale someone with that tale that is not so interested in me as a god.
Who else have you told? Or rather, when was the last person that you did tell the full story to?
Well, about yesterday. Or the day before, perhaps. It is one of my daughter's favorite bedtime stories, so.
Maybe you could share it with me then.
Good night, Calicindir.
Good night, Xerxes.
She walks out the door. So, is there anything people wish to do before they take their long rest?
Not sleep and just panic.
I do my usual
nice
dream thing with Finn, so that he doesn't run into the dream oasis or something.
Yeah, no worries. The night comes to
book it.
quiet and calm. You wake up the following morning feeling well rested. I'm not sure what else you'd all like to do within the College of Sakti-Lavia, if you wish to leave or head on your way. Do let me know what you all intend to do.
Is Alden still there?
No. In the morning, he has disappeared.
Alright. You guys would see that overnight, as Merc has attuned to the new sword, little patterns of feathers have embossed themselves into the adamantite plate armor that she wears. Just as a little, it's now got the texture of feathers.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But no, there's nothing that I really want to do here. No. Nothing else.
Hey, Lost Archives rating with a party of 15 just as we're getting going. How are you guys?
Hello.
Welcome.
You playing D&D?
Hello,
Were you
wonderful,
planning?
wonderful raiders.
Tell us what you're up to. We're just getting started on session 78 of our campaign. The party just had a divulge of secrets from the God of Secrets and are now on their way to hunt down Lich in their lair. That definitely can't go wrong, and perhaps other things will happen to them to them, with them, aside them, beside them, along the way.
But it is the morning, so first coffee.
So first
True.
coffee.
Exactly. Des, just to mark this down, at the start of every day, Callus, given it lasts the full day, Callus will be casting Foresight on himself,
Okay, mark off your ninth
Nice.
level.
which is just
Um,
put it on at the start of the day. Unless I say otherwise, it will just be going on Callus at the start.
Another thing for you all to know, if you're within 30 foot of Merc, you have advantage on perception checks, and you cannot be surprised. You're welcome.
Boy.
Thank you, Mike.
So +5 to passives for everyone apart from Merc, because she's already got it.
Is that 5 targets or 6? Because I'm technically 2 targets.
It's everything within range.
Got it.
Any
30
ally.
foot. It's an
Okay.
aura. Yeah, any ally.
Tuvu has never been quieter.
I assume Tuve is not up in the faculty rooms in the 6th floor of the tower.
No, Tuvu would either be a cat doing cat things, or would be in their complete earth elemental form, just wreaking havoc on the lower floors.
Let's go with one of those two. We'll figure out which.
Good morning. How's the
Good
card
morning.
game? Did you enjoy it?
It was fine, I guess.
You guess.
Well, I didn't sleep very well. And now you all know I have ticklish feet.
True. Why did you sleep well? Do better.
Well, it's too comfortable here. The beds are too soft.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, we'll have to be camping for the next whoever the hell knows how long. So I guess you'll get some better rest then, and I'll be miserable again.
It's better. I spent too long sleeping in chairs, sleeping on rock solid floors.
You could
I
have
haven't
chosen the
quite-
floor.
Well, I could have. That's what smart people would have done.
I mean, the carpet's pretty plush.
Well, it is. It's filthy though.
True.
I mean, it's a Bard college.
Yeah, have you seen what bards get up to?
Oh, I've seen exactly
know,
what
makes
Bards
me a
get up
bit-
to. That's why I was agreeing with you. So is there anything else that you need to do here before we head out?
Well, I was going to ask Calacindia if he wanted to go to the library, but I don't think we have the time for that. So perhaps on the way back.
Perhaps on the way back. Depends. How far are we from Prometheus' lair?
I have 5 days.
Well,
It's about
5
a week's
days.
travel from Arvigrad. You've got about a day, 2 days to get
Right.
to Valdresaki Lavia.
Well,
So
it
about-
would be just 3 days if it was just me and Tuvu, but accounting for our large group and delayed travel time, then we had to add a couple of days.
Right.
It also depends on how stealthy you want to be. Not all of us are geared towards that.
I did not account for that.
that's
I
true.
may have to add an extra day for that.
Okay. Probably not until we get close.
Has
There's
anybody
in the
else noticed that?
description-
Oh, go ahead.
In the description of the sword, it says that the aura I possess now is a radiant aura. Am I literally glowing right now? And does it affect the cloak?
Doesn't affect the cloak, but there is a soft glow off you, yes.
All right, cool.
For people who don't know out of context, which of the party members would be the loudest? Because I'm assuming Merc is pretty armored up. Donnie is also okay. All right.
Donnie, what's your dex? Is it 0 as
Yeah.
well?
no, it's +1.
Okay, so Merc is the loudest.
So it's like two
My
wind
clank
chimes.
clanks everywhere.
It's like two wind chimes
yeah.
made out of hubcaps on our way through the woods.
Yeah,
Like
that's
Yeah.
glowing.
Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
a battery
Well,
operated monkey. Like, psh, 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 psh.
Zeph is just like now coming to realization. It's like, oh dear, this is gonna be more difficult than I. We should
I
be
don't think
fine.
I can turn this
Should be
glow
okay.
off.
Hmm.
There's no like clap function to turn it off, or any spell.
Nope.
I mean,
It's just
worst comes to
there.
worst. We have, we have blankets for camping. We'll just throw one over our head.
Oh, do you not have a cloak that you could just put over?
Think
No,
it
she has one that's filled with
permeates-
eyeballs.
Oh,
Have you not noticed it yet? Merc, turn around.
A couple of eyebrows go. The eyeballs go.
Eyebrows, not eyeballs.
Yeah, just on
Eyebrows, yeah.
eyebrows.
Yeah, it's just a robe of
Like
eyebrows.
eyebrows.
Um,
So,
That'd be horrible.
as
I
you
was
get
wondering
ready
what those were.
to leave, Donnie, do you
Um.
wish to check back in with Sahiri before you go, or are you trying to check in with anyone specifically? Send messages.
Sahiri is not here. Sahiri made it very clear that
She's heading back to Ariel. But in case you
she
want to
would
do a
not be here.
message with someone.
any messages that I need to send, I can send through Callus India. The only messages that I would send would be to, let me remember names, Korzith, Irilin, or Eris Vizef. However, I will take a moment to talk to the party and so Nyakul was receptive. Korzith was receptive. And I'm assuming we're still in the lounge.
Yeah.
Behave yourself, Raf. And so getting them all together. Eris was weaponized. Putting them all in the same room. When?
This is your thing.
Perhaps after we're done with Gromathir. I think then we'll be heading in the direction of the desert.
Sounds good.
It makes sense to do it. Well, we have to head to the Ceruvian first anyway to collect the shard, so it makes sense to do it afterwards.
So what are we talking? Like 2 weeks? I'm just trying to get an assessment of timelines.
I guess it depends how long it takes to get to an oasis that moves throughout the desert.
Precisely. We don't know entirely how long that will take. I think 2 weeks would be safe, but perhaps, depending how long that may go, it may be safer to put it closer towards 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And considering the collection of organizations and the travel, well, the distances and preparations some of them will have to make.
Very true.
I think about 3 weeks is probably safe.
Hmm.
Is there anything
I
that
don't
I'm
think-
forgetting that Donnie would know about this?
I don't believe so.
And worst comes to worst, we can spend a few days in the city.
That's probably wise. We'll need to talk to your brother's court mage and have your home magically secured.
Ordered.
It would also be advisable because you will be running low on rations. We only have enough supplies to make it up to Gromathias.
I think
is a very
Merc
good
can make
point.
food, can't she?
Yeah, I can make food
Well,
if needed.
not
I
the
think
only
you can too,
supplies that
Donnie,
you
can't you?
need, but
I think true.
it's hard to hit. I mean, it's not advisable, but I suppose you can throw food at enemies if you run out of arrows.
Oh, I don't have to worry about running out of arrows.
I've been in one of those fights.
They're just like materialized bow. It's a package deal.
Oh. Well, that's very nice.
True.
I do not have one of those.
Although you did
Yes.
just get a fancy new bow, so. Wait, you don't know how to make arrows?
It takes a long time.
Or we could probably get
So-
regular arrows here.
True.
There is a small guard contingent that looks after the college. If you
Quartermaster
need
sort of thing.
specifically arrows, we could probably get you some very
I have-
plain.
I
but
have
balanced.
enough arrows to get us through the to the current adventure. However, to answer Zamani's question, you need a fletching kit in order to make arrows. I don't take things with me that I do not need.
Yes, that's fair.
It's extra weight. Very dangerous.
Wait here.
Wait,
I'll be back in a minute.
don't we know that oh my god. Zeph has a bag of holding though?
Yeah.
What do you mean you're
We can
worried
just
about
fill it.
weight? You're... Wait, what?
He's saying,
I asked a
"Shut
question and I
up."
was told yes, and now I'm confused.
It's all part of
Donnie
Zef's
will-
master plan.
Were you asking in
Donnie will
character or
quickly
out of
re-
character?
If I was asking if I know in character, and then when I was told yes, I asked you in character.
Oh, I apologize. Well, I suppose that is the case, but it is kind of full at the moment.
It's full?
Do you
Yes, it
fill
is.
a bag of holding?
There is an upper limit to a bag of holding, that is correct.
What do you have in there? Holy shit. Literally. Is there
I
holy
thought you
shit
said
in
you
there?
didn't take unnecessary things.
No, I do not take any unnecessary things.
We open it,
How
it's just
much
the
necessary
entire
crap
library
do you
of
have?
the humming cloaks.
Well, you see, when it in the middle of from experience, this is a Zeph reaches into the bag of holding with no explanation and pulls out a rock.
You do not
Are they to...
carry around the maximum quantity of rocks you possibly can.
I do because Tuvu is my friend.
And you need to... Is that how
So you carry.
heal
What does
too?
you carrying around rocks have to do with Tuvu?
Because
That's
if-
not Tuvu.
Everything.
because Tuvu occasionally needs repairs.
How
Tuvu
does
needs
that?
Sorry.
Wait, Earth elementals repair their bodies by absorbing other rocks.
yes.
But not the birds, the stones.
But would you be very... I think you would be very upset if you lost your arm, sorry, Calicindia, and somebody else pulled a different person's arm and tried to reattach it to you.
Okay, but
Perhaps
like
it was a left hand, so
we've
now you
met
have two left
a
hands.
single rock elemental. I think that's a pretty like you're acting like this is a really common occurrence.
This is a rather common occurrence, this is correct.
You've
They're
walked
very
around
particular-
with Tuvu missing an arm and picked up another rock, and it turns out that rock belongs to another Earth elemental, and you just stole their arm. That happens a lot.
Well, he's very picky about the rocks that he likes.
Okay, that's a
You
different thing.
have
Now.
500 pounds of stones in that bag.
I'm sorry, I'm just still a little shocked by this whole thing.
Yes.
Des. I'm curious. Arcanely, in Calicindia's knowledge of the arcane and conjuring and sort of like summoned elementals and things like that, do they require things to repair them like rocks?
Roll me an Arcana check.
Ready for this to be a
Okay.
40?
That's a dirty 30.
I mean, it might help. You're not really like you're not with elements and like
Yeah.
summon creatures.
But just like knowing what I know of like the basics of conjuration magic and things like that.
This Tuvu is not conjures.
Calicindia may be smart as hell, but doesn't have to live with an earth elemental for years and years
Yeah.
and years.
Yeah.
So you're telling me
Wait,
Tuvu's
okay.
going around going, that is a nice boulder.
I mean, he has a part of a statue in him.
I mean,
Sure.
theoretically, it may actually work. No, I don't think we should discredit Zeph entirely here.
No, I'm just
Not-
surprised. I'm not discrediting Zeph. I just had no expectation of something like this to be a thing. I mean, if it works, it works. I'm just surprised.
It becomes a very particular thing. In
Right.
fact, many other partners and companions I've had have all been particular. This is just one of Tuvu's particularities. They like specific rocks. We have been collecting rocks for the past... How many moons? 6 years at this point?
A lot of moons.
That is
You
a
know
lot
what?
of moons.
That's incredibly thoughtful of you, Zeph.
No, you don't understand. I do this for my own sanity.
It's incredibly thoughtful for yourself, Zeph.
Indeed. After the fight that we had in Overgrad, do you know how much of my supply I had to use in order to repair Tuvu? Tuvu sheds rocks whenever they get chipped and just discards them all over the place.
So at this stage, Dottie comes back in holding like this large platter.
Yeah, I've got a platter with a small kind of teacups with coffee in them. a sling of arrows over my one shoulder and quite a small but tightly packed leather satchel. All right, are you still talking about Tuvu? I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yes.
Anyway, I drop the platter down, and you can see it's got these kind of very tightly woven croissants. An assortment of them with jams and creams and small kind of lunch meats in them. And
Love you, Donnie.
well, here's breakfast. I'm trying to be a good host. Zeph, I'll throw the quiver of arrows at him. There are 50 arrows inside that. That should at least keep you going. And a gift. And I toss over the small leather pouch. Inside you'll find whetstones, a small fletching knife, a twine string for securing the arrowheads, and a bundle of feathers, a big bundle of balanced feathers. I had to call it a favor, but I've got a few to cash in. That should do the job.
This is very kind of you. Thank you very much. And
It's all right. I'm not paying for it.
okay.
But,
Reaches in the bag of holding, begins displacing the amount of rocks it would take to put all the stuff into it.
Oh no, I can carry it if you want.
It would be very inconvenient in the middle of combat if I had to go to you for arrows.
It would be inconvenient in the middle of combat if you went to me for the fletching kit. That's why I got the quiver.
Very well said. And
But
pass the-
I can hold on to the fletching kit for you, and I'll put it in my actual satchel, which is never really full.
Yeah.
But the food here is actually quite good, better than the beds.
Oh, these are great. This is a wonderful breakfast. Thank you.
Don't get used to it. I'm not much use for food. I normally
On the
just
platter,
find
there's
where
one
I am.
Cruffin that the 6 of you all eye at the same time. Sorry, 5 of you all eye at the same time.
There's one what?
A croissant muffin.
Cruffin.
You never had one?
Croissant muffin. It's like a muffin
Cruffins
made
are
of
the
croissant
best.
bread.
Oh, they're
so good.
So good.
Oh,
Mage hand.
Jen.
Johnny draws his weapon and ignites the blade. It's mine.
Oh no, I've already eaten
Who
2.
who's got better hit points out of
Donnie.
Zeph and
Donnie.
Zamani?
Zamani, probably.
Zeph.
No?
Zeph,
Yeah?
I was going to say, because...
Let me double check. Actually,
You
wait,
D8
no.
class
Yeah, no,
is-
Zeph. 131 versus 147.
My glass cannon.
Cool, I'll put Death Ward on Zamani.
Wait, you're 131 in a glass cannon? I'm 147 and, like, in combat. Like, as a frontliner.
Yeah, and you have Tubu. You have an effective between you 260 something.
Right. We have to... Right, but we have to be in the same spot. Zamani could be, like, in the next neighborhood
Yeah, but
over
you
and say,
the
"Fuck
beast
you."
heart is 2 characters. in
Zamani could be a
one.
sniper in the rooftop 10 kilometers away.
Zamani's not a glass cannon. She's a glass mortar shell.
Yes, yeah.
She's proper
and does-
artillery.
So if anyone's
Does
a glass
anyone-
The
cannon...
hottest artillery you've ever seen, though.
Oh, yeah.
She puts the Intercontinental in ballistic missile.
Anyone want this shield?
Thank you, Nate. Take an inspiration D6 for yourself. So, as you all get yourself ready and geared up to be leaving, you go outside, making your way down the stairs. You go outside and you see Tuvu is like there's like various bits of like rubble around him. You see the statuesque head has changed in the center mass to something that is now like marble with brass accents. Donnie, which you distinctly recognize as one of the centerpieces of the fountains that has been not so eloquently removed from the fountain statue.
I go and check on the fountain.
It's missing its head. It's missing. There's a bunch of water displaced.
Is that a famous person in the college, or was
Probably.
it just a head? Okay. Right.
Tuvu, looking good, I say in primordial.
Is there
Just
a
like-
plaque on the fountain?
Like a bunch of little boulders slide along the wrist to form like a big thumb. Just
Been looking good. What do you... Tuvo! We talked about this.
No. It's fine.
it called to me.
I don't have reverence for this place. This is a monument to the greed of the Rahashir. We don't.
Is there a plaque on the bottom of the fountain that says, this is Gerald?
There
He
once
died
was.
long? Oh.
Where's the plaque?
Regardless,
On his teeth. His teeth.
Zephyros, I think it would be quite pertinent if Tuvu got the fuck out of here.
Let's all get the fuck out of here.
I have something better. Avasia. And I snap, and he turn him into a cat.
He begins like running away as you say that. It's just like when it goes down. It's just a small cat.
A small rock cat, or is it like a fake cat?
A fake cat, I believe. Like, appearance-wise, can be passable as a cat.
Awesome.
A little brass stripes through it.
Yeah.
That will do.
Tuva turns into cat and he just goes fully limp on his side. He's just...
I'm going to go and talk to the groundskeeper. Not about this. I don't really care. This is hilarious. But I'm going to go say goodbye to the dormitory ward and the groundskeeper, and then we can get out. I'll see you at the main gate.
Sounds
Sounds
good.
good.
To meet you there. Scoop up Tufu.
And
He's just
I go
fully
do
like,
that.
he's
It's
like,
a cat.
does not want
Do
to.
they eat?
Then he's not supposed to.
But like, do they have like a sense of taste now?
Well, I... Just holding up the cat.
I mean,
Think
like,
about-
I'm just
think
saying,
about what
Tufu
you've
might
done.
like being a cat a lot more if you tried feeding him some tuna.
No, Tuvu gets the fill of mice and rats and birds and all different kinds of things on our travels.
I was gonna say, does
it
the
does-
rock start smelling of fish?
You do have to be careful about what he ingests because he does have a sensitive stomach, despite what you might imagine.
Mm. There's just like it's fully limp, but there's just like trying to swipe and doesn't hit.
Oh, how adorable. And keep on. We're just gonna keep on walking to the main gate.
Yeah, I
To-
feel like we're all just hanging around the main gate until Donnie gets back.
So, you find your way. Donnie, did you want to find someone specific or just do what you messaged me?
no, I'm just clearing away. I would talk to the groundskeeper and inform him that the local vandals have come back to Sakri Lavia and have defiled that fountain. And then bid him adieu and get the fuck out of here before he discovers it was us.
Easy. So, you all begin and you leave, making your way on the day out, finally, towards Grommathir's lair. You have 5 days of travel ahead of you. I don't think you guys got any, like, horses, wagons, anything, so it's just huffing it on foot.
Literally.
I think so.
So. Zeph, you know the way, but does someone give me a perception check throughout the day as you travel?
Anyone else? wanna?
Hey, Mikasio.
I mean,
I asked does
Alright.
anyone knowing full well the entire party's gonna go, Merc, can you make the roll?
I mean, perhaps the one with eyeballs or eyebrows on the cloak.
the
Those
one with the
eyebrows
buzzard
are
ass
incredible.
perception.
34.
34.
I rolled a
Throughout the
17.
day. Bro, this party is just like, everyone's like specialized at some shit. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I have advantage on perception check. Never mind.
everyone does.
Everyone has advantage on perception.
Thanks
No,
to
just
Randy,
as like
mate.
a feature.
Oh, dude, that's cool. Hey.
So, as you're traveling along the road, about halfway through the day traveling along it, you see, because you're traveling on like the actual main road towards Favendel for the first part of the journey, and throughout the day, it at quieter, later, earlier parts of the day, you see another group traveling in your direction, like the cross paths with you. It's a large large exotic sort of caravan, and it's got like maybe flanked on either side 8 guards.
Any symbolism on the guards?
No,
Or just a
nothing
mercenary
like
group?
super signifying. Looks to be like just hired hands.
Any symbolism or anything on? Actually, does Merc just see this, or do all of us see this?
When she points it out, it's like barely on the horizon. You're like, for fuck's sake, Marcus.
Right.
Although, no,
Is there
Cal
anything
can probably see
distinguishing-
it decently well.
Is there anything distinguishing about the caravan itself, like the actual?
From the angle you're head on, no, you can see like from the angle that there's probably writing on the side of it, but not from head on where you are.
Pulled by
Do we
horses.
want to talk to this, or do we want to avoid it?
Yeah, do we think we can trust them?
I mean, it's your party, but I can get it surrounded if you like.
No.
I mean, do they look aggressive?
No.
There's 8 guards, but other than that, I can't see anything of the caravan itself.
Look, we're on a main road. No one is going to be
Yeah, I mean,
robbing us with the enormous caravan. But if we don't
I mean,
feel like
look at
talking
us,
to
who's
people,
gonna
if we
rob
want
us?
to, well, I
please don't
would.
say things like that.
But for the most part, we are trying to, for the lack of a better expression, get the drop on a lich. The less people that know we're traveling, the better. And we are quite a distinctive team, but it is your decision. I can make it so that we pass them, or they could never see us.
What do you mean, stealth-wise or magic-wise?
Yes. We would be standing on this spot, and then with one step, we would be standing beyond them.
Unless they're
Well-
also magically inclined and have the ability to also see invisibility.
No, I can create a doorway.
Okay.
But
I-
regardless, I believe that we are outpacing them currently. That is why we have come across them. Is that not correct?
Well, they're heading
we're coming head
towards
on.
Arvergad. You're heading away from Arvergad.
You're gonna push.
I see.
Yeah, I've just seen them from a fucking like 3 miles away because me.
It may be. I suppose it could be worthwhile though if we wanted to ask them to see if they've any information about the road continuing. If there's anything we should be aware of.
Well,
That's
it is a
okay.
pertinent option. You can do what you want. Let me know if I need to disappear us.
And
I
you
feel
said
like-
it's exotic, like
Yeah.
colorful.
Pretty colorful.
I mean, also one of the best ways to not stand out is to just act normal.
If they have methods of detecting us and they do see us try to bypass them deliberately or do something suspicious, that may raise more alarms.
That's what I was thinking.
True. Yeah,
Let's just
Well done.
keep
continue
going.
like normal.
Take the lead, and I'll tuck my amulet of Zaki's underneath my tunic.
So, as you go throughout the journey, you get like maybe like 7-8 minutes from where you are. They kind of cross paths, and as you begin like kind of coming up, you see just written on the side of the caravan coming up to it is just Oren's Emporium. Just looks like a mercantile wagon.
Oren?
One's
About what time
Emporium.
of day is it now?
Maybe
You
like
said midday?
midday.
Have
Don't
any
appear
of you
to be giving
heard
you
of?
any attention.
Have any of you heard of this Emporium before?
Doubt any of us have.
I don't
Donovan.
believe so.
Or Zeph can give me a history check.
Sure. Nope. 7.
Birdie 20.
Dirty 20. It's a merchant, a very well set up, it's not even like a singular merchant. It's normally like a big kind of market, I suppose, a marketplace where many merchants would set up in Favendale.
Oh. Now that I do think of it, and I relay the information, It is more of a service. It is more of a collection of merchants, to my understanding.
Maybe by the time we get back, we can check out the market. They'll probably be set up by the time we're done.
Right.
We could
but
always
usually,
ask.
Usually in Favendale, there aren't really any events happening in Novigrad soon, are there?
No, but Arvograd has many resources that Favendale wouldn't. It would not be completely unheard of for trade. Like, there's no public trade between the governments, but like private companies would go back and forth. It's not that unheard of.
I hold up the cat Tuvu by the scruff, and I'm like, "Can go investigate very quickly. Return back to us soon." And I want to drop the cat, who then sinks into the ground because the collar allows them to still retain their abilities, but
That's cool.
in the form of a cat.
Yeah, it sinks into the ground and just there's ears poking up above the ground, just like a shark.
Just two ears, just
Weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
that was the weirdest thing you've seen.
I mean,
Hmm.
seeing a cat sink into the ground is a little weird.
Maybe like
I suppose.
30 seconds. Tuvu comes back. As you're like you're in shouting distance at this stage. You'd be able to hear them. You can hear general conversation with the guards as they're walking past. Tuvu comes back and he just like claws up the back of Zeph, just like climbs up. And just perches on your shoulder.
Anything suspicious? Are we okay?
Looks fine.
Okay, I suppose
are
that is
too
just a
paranoid.
transport. We're fine. We're okay.
I mean, are we interested in seeing if they have anything for sale?
I think we're all set up for. At the very least, me and Tuvo are perfectly fine. If you would like to have a conversation, then
I have no money.
Is there
I have
anything that's
all of Calicidia's money.
I was waiting for that. Is there anything that we're after in particular, or
More gifts
not
for
that
the
I can
kids?
think of.
that's true? I imagine the traveling emporium may have some knickknacks.
That's what I was hoping for.
You're gonna carry it the entire time while we go up to Gramathi and go fight a lich.
Where do you think all the rest of them are?
I thought back over at the shop.
No. And bag of holding. Side pocket.
Right. Okay. Understood.
Zeph's like, where do you store all your rocks then?
But where do the rocks go, Zamani?
So it's like I don't leave things in places. This party has a habit of getting derailed for what we need. The chances of us actually getting back there as soon as like we need to are very low.
Were there any snippets of conversation from the guards that we could hear that was like interesting tidbits of news or anything?
Tidbits of news. Not so much news. They're kind of like, you kind of hear two of them. They're just like back and forth, like playing I Spy, and it's just like the most delirious, like fucking, sky
Blade of
grass.
Yeah.
And then one of them says, "I spy something being a bit," and it's just like dumbasses. Like they're just fucking like they're bored guards escorting a caravan, trying to entertain
Mhm.
themselves as they walk between two cities.
Yeah.
Easy.
I'm gonna wave at him as we like kind of approach.
Any dangers on the road ahead?
Not behind us. Any dangers that way?
Nothing.
Not unless you include a bunch of drunk bards from the college. Dangers, but
No,
No,
we'll stop there
nothing.
as usual. That's fine.
Fair.
Fair enough. Travel well.
Are you guys planning on being in? Are you going to Avograd?
We are, and then we're stopping there and then heading to Seal.
Do you know how long you'll be there?
Not long. We're due a ship in 4 days, so we'll probably have 2 days in Arvigrad.
Are your people here looking to sell things along the way, or are you in a hurry?
1 second. And he kind of goes to the side of the car and just boom. Are any you selling? Oh, there's like this. 1 moment, and like still like an evening gown, like kind of robe, just kind of opens a shutter. There's like a half elf with like half done makeup. He's just kind of looks at it and goes, "Pleasure. What we're not really unpacking here, but if there's something
That's
I'm
fair.
particularly looking for, if it's readily available, I could have a look."
Just looking for interesting little magical baubles.
Um, magical little bubbles. 1 moment. He shouts in Elvis. Anyone who speaks Elvish, he just says, "Just stop." And he kind of goes through, looks around, and then opens up like 2 big shutters, and you can see everything inside is like like rope just keeping it against the walls and stuff packed up. And he's like opening small little bags and all right, there's not too many, but not nothing. He takes out like this, what looks like just like a daisy crown, and he just puts it on the counter. What else? He looks under this thing. Okay, sure, that might do. He puts another little like almost like this locket style thing, on the counter. And you really have 2 little magical things that are not stapled down right now.
Thank you. What did they do?
Well, that's just a flower crown, but it's ever blooming. He takes it and he pops it on his head, and you can see just flowers as soon as it goes on start weaving around to make it far more intricate. He just, and then he takes it off, and it just becomes like this like little daisy crown again. And then you see he opens up another one, and he puts it down, and it's a sundial, but it's casting a shadow that isn't to the sun above.
Think your sundial is broken.
No, this is actually a sundial said to be from the celestial realm, and it corresponds with the sun in their realm, from where it was made.
Interesting. The locket.
Weirdly useful.
That's what's in the locket. It opens up into.
Oh, okay. So it's like teeny tiny little.
Yeah, it's a little tiny sundial.
It's a fog watch, but a sundial.
None of the kids are connected to the ethereal realm, or not?
Celestial. Not
Celestial. I'm sorry. No. I'll take the daisy crown.
Sure. It's only 5 gold if you have it.
Thank you. I'll give him
A little,
75.
little tap on Zamani's shoulder. Zamani, the sundial.
Yes.
Would you mind if I borrowed for it?
You want to owe me another favor?
Yeah.
Okay. How much for both?
5 gold apiece, 10 gold for both.
Okay.
I owe you a 5 gold favor.
What's the other one?
Anything else?
I
I
don't
can do for
remember
you?
the other one.
Any more mundane things you're looking for? Silks, fabrics, spices, meats.
I mean, just out of curiosity, do you have any less mundane items?
Plenty of non-magical. I have fabrics, I have spices, I have gems, I have jewels, I have many things.
Right,
Are we
but
planning on
How
going
many
through
diamonds
Nub
do we
anytime
have?
soon? 2.
We don't have Revivify,
Yeah. We
so
don't get
we
access
got
to
tons of
Revivify.
diamonds.
I think does not
Uh,
Mercestia not have it as a paladin?
yeah, you've Revivify.
Ashes
Paladins
gave
get
it to
Revivify.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, Tasha's.
3rd level.
Yeah. So we need diamonds for
I
Revivify.
have. I've got a 2k diamond, and yeah,
Seems
I don't
reasonable.
know. I can't remember how we got that, but
Yeah, look, we got
2K
it.
diamond, was that one was floating above the in Arvergrad?
Maybe. Or it could have been from the quartermaster.
There was a very expensive diamond you guys got in Arvergrad.
I think I have that because I flew up and I yoinked it.
Okay, so that's not that. Actually, no, that one wasn't 2K. That's more expensive than that, I believe.
Yeah, that was really, really big. I don't think you actually gave us a price for that.
No, I believe I did.
I think it was 5k.
Yeah, I believe it was.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a 5K diamond.
I second the 5k.
I don't know where we got the 2K
Use that for
one from.
Revivify, guys.
Well, they are a traveling merchant. It's not like they really have anything too valuable, I imagine. Do you have any form of diamonds, whether it be in rough shape or dust?
I would have a few smaller diamonds, yes.
And what is the value that you need, Macaster? The magic is a little outside of my wheelhouse.
I think it's 3.
3.
Revivify 3, I think.
100.
Diamonds. So it can be multiple diamonds, mind you. Doesn't
Yeah,
have to be-
diamonds worth 300. And I'm pretty sure I got the 2K diamond from the quartermaster because I've got written down 2 times 2K diamond.
Which brought many great things to sell in Thiel, but if profit is to be made here, profit is to be made here.
Well, I would like to take a look at your diamonds, please.
Sure. He takes like this small little like velvet case out and opens them up and turns it around, puts it on the counter. There's like I think like 7 diamonds in it.
So Zeph knows very little about jewelry, but
Okay.
in terms of like quality, Tuvu is an excellent tool. Is holding up Tuvu. She's like, okay, we need at least 300 worth. And just scan with it.
Tuva looks. They look good. Then he kind of like wiggles to turn and look at you. Zeph, I have no concept of money.
Having a look with the like religious training and stuff I've had, I would know what 300 would look like.
Varying quality, like, what he will tell you is that each diamond is worth about 40 gold.
About 350s. No.
Yeah,
Math.
that's.
It's just under. It's 280.
There's 7 of them. Yeah, it's 280.
We can math.
Anybody have 20 gold worth of diamond?
No.
No.
Making it even 300? No?
So how much are you looking for?
I've got
300.
300 gold's worth. We got 280 worth.
Yeah, so easy enough. There's a 40 a piece. He is what, 7? So total.
Yeah, so that's 280 gold, not 300 gold.
So you're 20 gold off another caster Revivify.
Yep. It's alright. That's okay.
Do you have any healing potions?
I don't actually for sale now.
Oh.
All good.
Well, I suppose I should also let you know that if you are planning on restocking Avograd, they might be out for a little bit.
Well, that's good to know. We weren't planning on stocking up much in Avograd. But thank you. Yeah, I head into Theo.
All good.
Maybe we'll see you on the way back.
Yeah.
You've just come from Favendel, have you?
Yes, that is where we are set up.
Right. What's the latest from Favendel? Anything noteworthy there?
Well, it's pretty much in the muchness, is it not? War in Mantarasir and Casellia. Favendel is always looking to expand south. Tensions with Rinderton War could be breaking out any day.
Is he uncomfortable at all with these questions, or?
No. But to be fair,
Well, thank you for
that
that.
could be said between Favendel and Rantrim for the past maybe 100 years. The war could break out any day.
So nothing too new then.
Much in the muchness for myself. It's all well varying. It's as long as it doesn't affect business, it doesn't affect me. So
Of course. Thank you for entertaining my question.
you're welcome. Any news from Avograd or wherever?
Much of
you
an
should have?
muchness.
No, they just had the big what was it? The ball, the dance. I can't remember what it was called. At the
Oh,
Grand
the
Rome's
monthly
Rest.
merchants thing there. Yes. Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit of
I've
fun.
heard that's quite the extravagant affair.
Yeah.
If you're into that.
Well, I should really get back on the road if we want to make pace. So, unless there's
Sure.
We
anything
appreciate you
course.
stopping for us. Thank you.
There's no harm. Enjoy your travels.
And you.
She
Good
closes. up.
trade to you.
As we walk away, with like the little locket or whatever, somebody's just spinning it on her finger. So what do you want? What do you have to do with this time in the celestial realm?
It's not for me, Samani. I'm just thinking it might be a nice little memento of where he's going. Not for Suxies, but for Samael. Sometimes it is nice to remind our friends of why they are our friends.
I get it. That's funny.
I'm gonna give it to him.
Thank you. I don't know if it's going to mean anything, but perhaps a
It'd be funny.
memento. And Calacindia can always tell him.
I mean, that's the point of gift, right? You don't know how it'll
Yeah.
go, but you have good intention.
Something like that.
I mean, it's not like you
There's
have
a
bad
bird.
intentions.
It is to remind him of why we're going to be friends with him. And why we've decided not to kill him. There is a veiled threat in this.
Do you think it's necessary?
We're about to go kill the person that hoarded corpses for his blood.
True.
Call it a. I'll open the and I'll start fiddling with the sundial. Call it a reminder and perspective.
I like
Yeah.
it.
But thank
On
you for
a
indulging me.
specific-
You do have 5 gold's worth of favor.
I am
True.
curious to know what you'll cash them in for eventually, Zamani.
A rainy day. What else? Or a very, very bored one. One of the two.
Sure, sure.
You gotta hear thunder
You'll need to-
cracking in the sky as it looks like there's storm clouds just around us.
I said rainy, not stormy.
I didn't say rainy, but it's starting to just.
Why do you have to ruin my fun?
As the day progresses onwards, trying to find somewhere to sleep for the night. Could I have someone give me a survival check to find somewhere safe? Because I believe the party does not have a tiny hut or
I'm good with survival.
Actually, no.
Wow.
I have Tiny Hut now. We haven't traveled since I picked it up.
Oh,
as a
you're
ritual.
right. You got it.
Yeah, we haven't
Yeah.
traveled since then, so I do have it. God damn it!
We've got a ranger. We're
No, you
dope
don't.
at survival.
Yeah, we've got a ranger and Tiny Hut. Like we're set between the two of
you
us.
don't have a
we're good.
ranger.
Is that not what a
Oh,
beast
Beast
is?
Hut.
No, Beast Heart
Isn't
is
it
his own
wisdom?
class.
Isn't it a
Copy
whiz?
that.
Beast Heart is
Oh,
MCDM's
yeah.
I do not
class that
have
they
the-
put out for basically what
It is an
a
MCDM
companion
custom,
class should be.
Its own thing.
but
Oh.
I don't have a lot of the traditional things that a ranger would have. It's like a ranger adjacent class. Is like the closest thing I could call it.
Also, I lied by accident. Not intentionally, but I did lie. I do not have good survival.
Nice.
I was gonna say your wisdom is
gonna
balls.
say.
Yeah.
So Zamani,
Wait,
can you
so
roll
who
me a
actually
survival
has-
check? And Zamani shouts
I
out, I can
cannot.
do this.
Okay.
No, you can't, Zamani.
Jin did
not
that.
Proficient.
Not Zamani.
Okay,
Is
but
anyone
Dez is
proficient?
asking Jen to roll survival because it's funnier.
I want to do that.
Zeph
Just out of
has-
curiosity, Sorry.
Oh, Zeph has inherent faith in his companions and complete trust, and will allow somebody else to make the survival check.
Does he?
Does anyone have proficiency in survival?
It doesn't matter
do.
because Jen's making the roll for the first night.
What do
I
you
do.
mean?
Jen, please roll me survival.
I thought you were fucking with me.
Well,
But we have a
Zeph,
tiny hut.
Yeah.
Zeph, I don't think this is going to be going well, but it's going to be hilarious to watch.
Why would you say
Dirty
that?
20, suck it.
30-20. Yeah, you find this very nice clearing just off the beaten path where it looks like, you know, it's not too hidden. It does look like it's an actual like campground that people have stopped at frequently though. Like it is a well-known spot.
So rest stop on the side of the highway.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It would make sense along the main roads of the world that there is many frequent.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking
It
about,
finds
Donovan.
money.
We're completely fine.
Oh,
Blind.
I'm going to eat crow. This is quite good. I thought Zamani would.
I
be,
believed in you. I believed in you,
Zamani would
Zamani.
be incredible in a city. She can navigate any back alley, but I thought we were outside of a wheelhouse. Serves me wrong.
Merc decides not to mention the fact that we passed a sign 3 miles ago that says rest stop in 3 miles.
Yeah, Merc, you look on the horizon, you can see like the dot of smoke of an inn, and you're just like, let her have this one.
Don't you dare.
Merc just nods to herself and then goes to settle down, break camp.
Right, give me 1 second and I shall cast this.
I'll collect
Tiny
firewood.
House gets-
Kingfish,
Doesn't
roll play
Tiny Hut
amongst
need an
yourself.
actual
I'll be back
tent?
in a second.
Nope.
Okay,
It
I wasn't
needs
sure.
a pearl or a glass bead.
Yeah, I think that there is a spell that does need a tent, or there is like a tent spell from Deep Magic.
Yeah, it's
or like adjacent.
yeah, tiny tent, something like
Tent. While I'm casting this, Zeph, there is one thing I wanted
Yes.
to bring up actually. You mentioned about not having enough space in your bag and all the rocks and all that. I do have a portable hole on me that is not quite as limited with space. If you wanted to store some of the rocks there, in case you wanted to have extra along the way.
You just have this portable hole with you.
Yes.
Hmm.
Folded up and ready to use, but yeah.
Is there anything currently in the hole?
A few knickknacks, bits and pieces, but nothing too large.
Isn't there like a
Hey.
painting in there?
Yeah, there's some artifacts from Inishale that Callus India collected, like tapestries, paintings, and the like. But they're like
Yeah.
safely put in one corner in like a massive
You
space.
did-
So there's
It's an Art
We've
Deco
been
hold.
home since then. You haven't put them up at RAL?
because they needed to be. Some of them were, but then others needed to be refurbished. I remember Des saying, and I just never got around to doing it, so they're still in there.
Okay.
Well, someone else has more pocket dimension stuff. I believe Zamani also has a bag of holding.
Yes.
Anybody else?
Nope.
Well, I've got something small, but it's not much for useful storage. It's only for small knickknacks, and I'll pull out the small pouch on a string that I keep around my neck.
So I would actually, Cynthia, I very much appreciate the gesture. However, I would like to perhaps not carry 2 extra dimensional spaces with on my own person. That becomes.
Oh.
Hi, I do.
You should. They don't ever come into contact with one another. Is that correct?
I mean, I don't put one inside the other, no, because I don't want a giant explosion that would kill us all.
Right. It's more of a precaution. Personally, I do not want the chance of
You
that
absent-minded,
happening.
Zeph.
I may want to try to get into the hole while still wearing my bag.
True.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That-
Well, I
It's
mean,
kind
I
of
was
dark.
still offering to carry it, but more just if you ran out of space and you wanted to have some backup for Tuvu. A
I
few more
suppose
nerfs.
if there's anything along our journey that I need carried, I would appreciate that, Callison. I would. However, the rocks will belong with me. So if there's anything else, then I can hand it off to you, if that is okay.
Of course. By all means.
Thank you. I'm going to go find some food for us.
All right. Sounds good.
Have fun.
As Calicinda is setting up the tiny hut,
Dome.
I'm going to start taking small little twigs and staking out kind of a perimeter with about a 5 feet margin around it, and I'm going to start casting alarm.
Okay.
Smart.
So, Zeph, can you give me a survival check for your hunting?
As a dirty 20.
20. Yeah, you find some various like small game, maybe rabbit, some pheasant, various small bits, but quite nice, and some berries to complement it.
Could I supplement that with like any other like foraging, like insects and stuff?
Yeah, if you want to get some insects and stuff, I don't know if the party will eat them, but
We'll give it a go.
you
Good
get
luck.
enough to feed the group between the meats, berries, insects, and small bits you find if you so wish.
Very well. I think this is a decent haul. Don't you think so, Tuvo?
Is Tuvu in cat form, or is he back? Is he still?
Tuvo is in cat form as punishment.
Tuvu's just like like every time you look back, Tuvu's just like completely limp on the ground.
Look, I've been continuously moving. You have moved from that spot. I want you to stop that. That is not conducive to our hunt.
You look back away, you move up a few steps, you look back, Tuvu's now closer to you, but still just limp on the ground. Like,
Okay, this is
Just
getting
earth
out of
gliding
this-
in the lying on the ground.
yeah, the cat's just limp, earth gliding, just.
Just like clipping through some of the terrain.
Yeah.
like- But no, I returned back with various different animals, and so you said like a small like pheasant and like a couple of birds and stuff, and maybe a rabbit.
Yeah.
And begin to prepare begin to like prepare the ingredients into like a stew, because that is the best way to have this stuff with herbs.
It's
That's
actually
not a
quite
stew.
nice.
Hmm.
So, are you all taking watches, or are you going to just sleep inside the hut?
I think take watches.
Definitely.
Case, maybe.
Definitely we take watches.
I will
Pair up.
happily
or-
take the first watch. Get some rest. I'm pretty boring on the road, but I'm happy to have a late night.
I mean,
This is quite good.
I'll take the watch with you as well, Donovan.
Sure.
I would take the middle one as well and just wake someone else up who wants to go next.
I can go next.
And I'll go with you.
What?
Well, is Cal doing a double and then passing out?
Yeah, pull a double. It's alright.
Tuvu's just there permanently half clipped through the ground, just staring out into the ether.
No
And
clip to
the
it.
aura does, according to the text, the aura does not disappear when I am unconscious, so you guys still have advantage.
I'm actually
Awesome.
really grateful that there's enough people to cover because Cal's doing his double because he doesn't need to sleep. Because Zamani kind of has to dream because of Finn.
Yeah.
Yep, yep, yep.
So, first watch, Cal.
Well,
Done.
as we take the first watch, I'll wait till Zamani dreams out. Go listen to a moment, if you have a second.
Of course. Of course. We've got, well, I was going to say the whole night, but at least a large chunk of it.
Well, we try and scooch away from the camp a little bit and keep the voices
hush the
down.
voices.
Still being aware, but
Actually, Donovan, I have something for this that can help us talk a little bit more privately, as Calicinda would just
I
cast
swear,
telepathy.
if you start typing in your book,
It's all right. It's all right. No, it's much better than that. As Calicinda would just cast telepathic bond between the two of them. I know speaking to your head might be a little bit strange, but
telepathy is such a pain. I don't even like using message. So,
however, no one will hear us.
well, good. You know that key that's the money bot?
Yes, the one that Xerxes was very quick to take away from her.
Yes. No, you are not to mention this to anyone.
Of course.
And I'll maintaining eye contact. You are not to mention this to anyone.
And I shall not.
You want to know what that key does?
You know how much I want to find out things, Donovan. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's India. I'm not asking about your curiosity. I'm asking about the stakes.
How high are we talking about for the stakes with this key? Apparently, I have
You've told
nothing
me
to go off with it.
You've told me about Zamani's agreement with Xerxes' idiot brother.
Yes?
Would you like to rob him?
So I've had this key.
Yes.
I can keep a secret.
It opens the door where he keeps all of his contracts.
Interesting.
Correction, Johnny. Not just the Lord of Decays. That is the Grand Vault key for all contracts on Osiris. On the
I was
palace.
going to say, yeah, it's every.
It's not just the Lord of Decays.
And not... I will take any opportunity to put one over on the Lord of Decay, but it depends on how volatile you would like to be, because this is every contract.
We could do some serious damage to him with this. Not just to him, but to the whole of Osiris. If we so wish to draw such a target upon ourselves, but at the bare minimum, at least take away Zamani. What did
Well, I
Xerxes...
don't know what a fireball would do
Say.
to the room, but, you know, it's paper.
True. True, although it's interesting note, I don't actually know entirely what happens on Osiris if contracts are destroyed. If that severs everything completely, or if there's residual effects, backups, contingencies in place. What did Xerxes say of this? I imagine you spoke to him about the plan to rob him.
No, I did not. He said, keep that safe and keep it the fuck away from Zamani.
Very safe. If the Lord of Decay found out that she had it, then he would
There you
take
go.
it from her in a heartbeat.
You are now caught up. And I'm going
Right.
to pull the pouch of holding over my neck. Give you a look.
Understood.
Put it back.
Understood. All right. Well, this is something to turn our minds towards. It's definitely something that we should have your boss on our side before we do it.
We absolutely should not. There is a term, plausible deniability, Calicindia.
Right, there is also another term, which is robbing Osiris. We will need more assistance than just us if we're going to proceed with this. And trust me, I want to go into Osiris and get to these contracts more than anyone else, but I don't want to rush to our deaths.
Well, You might say we're doing that already, but I see
Exactly.
your
So let's just try and narrow it down to just one case of that. Not,
point. You worry too much. Jokes aside,
Right.
she's important to you. She's important to all of us. If you would like to really make some waves, tell me when.
There are some things we need to put into motion beforehand. There's a lot of research and planning that we will need to take to proceed before we even do that. I mean, we need to know what it even looks like on the other side, at least
Tell us
a
in
general
there.
idea.
You're overthinking it. We don't need to solve this problem now.
No, but we need to start considering it, as this is something that if we are going to do, then we're going to do it before this African.
Consider it. Consider it well. Where you go, I will be. I will not have her subject to that fool. Referring to the Lord of Decay.
I'm glad to hear it, Donnie. I'm glad to have you on the right side of all of this.
What you talking
For the
about?
record-
Any side I'm on is the right side.
Well, I mean, yeah. Speaking of which, though, do you know how your boss would feel about us doing this? Would that cause any source of friction between the two of you if you were to do it without asking?
Of course it would. But he told me anyway. And he put it in my possession with the express expectation. I am aligned with the Rahashir, but I am not of the Rahashir. I am what you would call a rogue agent.
Alright. Rahashir Black Ops. Yeah.
Something like that. But
Alright.
I think he gave it to me with perhaps expecting me to go and raise a bit of hell, so to speak.
No, I don't think we should disappoint him in that case. Of course, as you said, let's not rush into it, but
No. I am a
Put it
man
to
of
consideration.
creating opportunities. You are a man of planning. Go and figure it out. And then tell me when it's done.
thank you, Donovan. If you do find out anything else, though, then of course I am more than welcome what you have to say on this.
Give me a wink.
Two of them will just head back, I imagine, to where like the main part of the camp is away.
I mean, it will be fun.
It would be, you know what? That would be something to really make our name. You know, killing a god, breaking into a Cirrus.
There would be a lot of pissed off people.
There would be a lot of targets painted on our backs. But what's more than the multitude we already have?
Hell, if we just kill them too.
Well, I know that you can take them.
Not all of them. If they form an orderly line, perhaps.
Well, let's hope that they are just as polite as that.
Probably not.
Probably not. But,
Pretty quiet night.
Seriously though, Donovan, thank you.
I mean it though.
I
Shut up about it. Yes?
don't. Donovan, if there's one thing I can do, just keep a secret and not tell anything. Zamani can attest to how well I don't tell people things.
Yes, I know far more about you than I would like to know. From
That's
Zamani.
also because Zamani tells Xerxes a lot of intimate details that
No,
aren't necessarily
it's not
even
from
important to know.
Xerxes. I know
From who?
uncomfortable facts about your sex life, Calicidia.
Oh, right. I mean, look, that's hardly damaging. So.
That's not what I hear. There's a certain amount of damaging going on.
Right, but when you put it like that,
Someone puts it like something.
no. For what it's worth, I am remarkably good at keeping
yeah.
a secret. So,
Well, I mean it. Once you figure out the how, we'll do it. Yes?
of course.
If not just for you, but for the children too.
That's why I am doing it.
Good.
So the end of
Anyway,
watch
do you
goes
want to
by
drink?
These two absolute children in the chat.
I'm sorry, I found a brilliant fucking gif. So, who is taking the second watch?
I believe I am.
Hounds F.
Cat lands up. Okay.
I always
Unless someone else wanted to take it, I'm more than happy if someone else wanted to take it as F.
Sorry, I'm spending the evening with one of my children. We're playing cards tonight. It's going great.
Ooh.
Hounds F, what are you doing?
I always find it so difficult to wake up into the middle of the night and then go back to sleep. It's not my favorite.
To be perfectly honest with you, Zeph, it's why I always volunteer for the first one. Find it far easier to stay awake.
I suppose that was the case, but I didn't want to take that away from you, so I didn't say anything.
Well, thank you for that. I am curious, how have you found traveling with us so far? We are quite the strange bunch.
Not the strangest, not the most boring, and certainly not the most dangerous. There have been it comes with the territory. It comes with the occupation. And it is a risk that I was willing to take in order to help a friend of a friend. But I suppose we are... I think you all know a little too much about me at this point to just be considered a friend of a friend. At least, hopefully.
I hope so. You kind of breached that early stage of it.
Do you all
I think
never...
that...
Oh,
Sorry.
I was just going to ask. Do you all never take time off? Settle down?
Not as of yet. Maybe in the future, but... I mean, we've had a few months here and there of quiet, well, relative quiet, but nothing longer than that.
Well, I
mean-
recommend it.
Well, as soon as we're able to, I will certainly enjoy taking it. But unfortunately so, we were rather thrust into this whole situation without much of a reprieve. It's not been the kindest towards us time.
No, I suppose not.
But if we are, is there any particularly nice holiday destinations that you've been to that you would recommend?
Well, I suppose I must ask, what is relaxing to you? What is a nice environment? There is quite a bit that I've experienced along my travels, but everything is a little different for everyone. For example, not everyone likes a 25-mile hike. Not everyone enjoys water. Not everyone enjoys the cold.
That's true. That's true. I mean, what I find relaxing is probably not for Zamani or many other people that we'll be with, so...
You seem to like your
I mean,
books
for
very
me-
much so.
Precisely, the relaxing night for me was in the book club. That was probably the most relaxed I've been in months now. But, I think everyone else, there was one in Yundev. Have you ever been to Yundev?
I
In the
don't believe
world.
I have. No.
There's a very relaxing spa they had there. Quite remembered Zamani and the others enjoyed it. I mean, I did as well, but not as much as the Tervan Sanctum.
Indeed. I don't believe I've ever been to a spa.
Well, I'm sure we have to change that then. At our soonest convenience, although I don't know if a Lich's lair will have much in the way of spas or relaxation.
No, I don't believe that they usually have that. They usually do have a vat of something to soak their bodies in, but it's usually not very relaxing or very warm, or at least
Yeah, I can't
historically,
imagine.
historically speaking.
Have you had much experiences with Liches, undead, or and the like, Zeph?
You do run into quite the assortment of various undead creatures when you are around ruins as much as I am. There's a lot of paranoia, and it's not very effective to have traps that involve live animals that you cannot feed or access regularly.
I suppose that does make a lot of sense, actually. I've never really delved into many ancient ruins. That's not something I've
people-
considered, but no.
Many people are very paranoid about their information. I suppose, much to the akin of you, you must be relatively protective of your tomes and of any information you've acquired. People value information more than anything in this world, in this region. So they're willing to go to great lengths in order to keep them safe.
Right. What's the if you're open to sharing a few tales, what's the most I suppose the most curious of these ancient locations that you've been into?
So out of character.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a ton of information about the world, and I don't want to make something that is like bad become canon.
Okay. So, I can give you something if you want, or you can spit some nonsense out, and I'll just say
Quick
Zep is
outline.
lying.
Just give me a quick run of something.
I'd say probably
Sorry,
one of the most interesting
sorry, I
things
didn't
you've been
think about this.
into is probably a I'd say start of 300-year war ruins on the cusp of Kazkarak, where the fire giant hold used to be. There would have been and let's say like a burial ground for fire giants that you would have explored.
Well, is one of the strangest things that you encounter, especially when you have abilities like when you're able to transport yourself like Tuvo and myself, you do run into quite interesting situations. So we were tasked with exploring some early pre-rune tombs, and while we were traveling through, we had stayed up the night before. It was a little bit of a event and a party, and I was not thinking straight and very hungover, so we decided to just walk on through because we couldn't find an entrance for 3 hours. Went through directly into a tomb and landed in a pile of bones. 5 very large bones.
Oh.
See, it was not very much of a... you may not think that is a very big deal, but in terms of archival purposes, it is very frowned upon to disturb any of the dead or any of the tombs. Especially when you have Tuvo with you, who begins sticking the bones in between the rock form and becomes...
Right. Understood. No, that makes sense. Yes.
It was a bit of a mess, yes.
Although I create skeletal structure.
I've seen how the other Humming Cloaks react to you handling books. I can only imagine how they would react to archaeological artifacts being.
I do have respect for the things that I do not understand. I do not understand what they are doing over at the Humming Cloaks. Books are meant to be read. They're meant to be handled, especially within their possession.
I think it's more the inherent danger within the books that they're concerned about.
There's nothing very dangerous about parchment in between two bound tomes.
You would be surprised. You would be surprised. You said that a lot of people seek to protect their knowledge, their information. That is true, but a lot of people seek to protect them through placing curses and spells upon books, tomes, manuscripts, and the like. Some of which can be very, very harmful.
I suppose so. I suppose in my personal experience, I haven't really come across that very often. Oftentimes, a lot of the treasures are very mundane.
Right.
I found a very old recipe for muffins one time. Locked in a chest.
Did you try it?
No, I do not know how to cook.
Really? I mean, I don't really know either, but I just thought that being on the road as much as you are, you would know it? Know how to cook at least basics?
Well, I know how to prepare food, but in terms of it required an oven. I've never operated an oven before.
Right. That is a little strange.
It's very different, you know. It's about the circumvention of heat around the food, and instead of like cooking it through, and there's a lot of control involved, and you have to cook. It's very specific timing. It is not up my alley.
I'll be fully honest with you, and I don't think anyone in the party has ever seen this before, but the few times I've tried to bake things in an oven, they have burnt every single time.
Interesting.
One thing that I don't know if I'll ever master.
It is a very simple thing, but very difficult to master, is what I've heard, especially from those who do create confectionery.
Well, hopefully you'll find someone to make those muffins.
Oh, I don't know much about that at this point, because that tomb is long collapsed at this point. And if anybody asks, it was not me and Tuvo.
Was it linked to you and Tuvo?
We were there.
Did you see how it happened?
No, we were running.
That's fair.
Our job is to observe, not to engage.
Did you find anything of note in this old tomb, or just the bones and the recipe?
Not necessarily. You do come to realize how many of the giants of the Jotun kind of live their lives, and understands that even through the troublesome history, that they are also sentient and conscious and have a soul and want to live, much like the rest of us. Very difficult to envision coming from my people's background and the horrible things that they've done, but there were casualties on both sides, not just our own.
Yes, I can't say that. I think that's another bridge for me to cross. Reproachment towards Jotuns and giants. Maybe in time, but...
It is difficult, I understand, but... You know, the Jotuns are just like us. They had parents, they had to learn from someone, they had to learn from experience. They become tired, they become uncomfortable, and do things and create things in order to relieve that.
Have you spent much of your time studying giants?
My whole life. I have studied giants even before I became a wayfinder.
Have you ever met one?
I did.
A Jotun or a small giant?
To my understanding, the first Jotun I ever encountered outside of the stories from my tribe, it was a child lost in the woods.
So,
Hungry
Zeph, don't
and
get confused
very
between Jotun and Jotun Kid. Different things.
Oh,
Jotuns
Thank
are the
you.
size of mountains.
thank you very much. No, not Jotun. Singular alive.
Right. Well, hopefully you don't go quite that far. But
Perhaps one day.
by all accounts, well, perhaps one day, hopefully they're more peaceful. Jotun.
Perhaps, or maybe they're just friendly and you're able to have a cup of tea with them and enjoy a conversation.
And now that would be one for the history books. First cup of tea between humanity and a Jotun.
Well, if that is the case, then I strive to create that history, if that means that there will be peace in the future.
I hope so, though. I hope so. But if you do, then you must write a book about it, at the very least.
Do
I look
have
forward to
to?
hearing about. Well,
Do I
at the
have to
very
write
least,
a
tell
book
people about it. I mean, you don't have to, but I mean, at the very least, I would like to know. That is a story I'd be most interested to hear.
Then one day, if I encounter Jotun, then I will send you a message. Let you know how it went.
Appreciate it.
And you can
Thank you,
write my
Zeph.
book for me.
Well, I don't think I'll be able to do it justice, but I would certainly try.
Well, you certainly read a lot of books. You must know how to write one. Yes?
Yes, although most of my books are a bit more scholarly in material. My writings. I have not tried to do anything quite as more flowing in the prose.
Well, I
Being a
thought
good
you wanted
academic
to.
and being a good writer are not the same thing.
Well, I thought you wanted to make it historical. Write it down in history. I believe most of those are written academically rather than with prose. And I suppose you could present this information later on to a bard and they could create a more compelling story for you.
Perhaps. No, I'll take that into consideration. If you ever meet a Jotun, Zeph, I will try my best to write it.
You will be
Try
the
my
first to
absolute
know.
best.
You'll be the first to know. I will try to send you very many messages. Oh, whenever I am finished with my messages, I do say end message so that you are able to respond.
Right, understood. Understood. That is not what I'm used to, but I'll try to keep that in mind.
Understood. Is there... There's nothing really out here, is there?
No, there's been nothing. It's been a completely uneventful evening so far.
Meanwhile, you're just standing over the body of like 8 gnolls just with a supreme prejudice.
These gnolls just like they prepare an ambush, but then they recognize us. I'm like, nah, get the fuck out of here. Back off.
So, your watch goes by without fail. Who was on last watch?
Me and somebody.
Actually, I think it might just be you. Because I
No,
can't do
sounds
watches
good.
right now.
Perfecto. Let's talk to myself for 4 hours.
You're really becoming Cal. Shit.
Marquez, there's anything we should do on your watch?
Not overly. I'll probably do some prayers and stuff since I can still, like, even though if I shut my eyes and bow my head in prayer, I still have full vision of everything that's happening. So probably just a lot of time praying and sending prayers, hoping that Nemavana is spreading their wings and growing in strength.
Zeph will leave a couple of lengths of rope for Merc and go. Remember, over, under.
Over, under. Sounds good.
You'll figure it out. And leaves the rope and
I'll
goes to
try
bed.
my best. But yeah.
So, your watch also goes by without fail. Zamani, as you're sleeping throughout the night, what do you make this dream look like for Finn?
Considering that we do this a lot, Zamani would ask him if there's any place that he would want it to look like that she's seen before. And if he doesn't have anything, then she'll probably make it
not
like
today.
Okay. Then it'll be like a pretty place from her travels.
Okay. So that'll be kind of looks around. He's just like, You recognize the look. He's scouting for the seam just out of curiosity.
You can look for it, you can't touch it though.
I know. There it is.
But no, I don't think I've taken you here before. It was
Where are
before I
we?
met where we are in the forest that is between Burton and area. It's close to a place that I used to live a long time ago. It's like a nice little meadow. There's a little brook going through the side of it. Flowers around.
What do you want to do tonight?
I've been thinking, because you're getting really good at cards, so I think I should switch it up on something that I'm better at than you again.
Okay. So what are we doing?
Is there anything that you would like to do? Other than explore the seam?
No.
Why do you want to go there?
Because it's interesting. It calls to me.
In what way?
There's just so many things out there.
True. There are many things out in the world as well. I've thought about being an adventurer one day, and an explorer.
Not
Or is
really.
it just in dreams?
I mean, it's like I like having where I am. I don't want to go far from my home.
So you want to explore without having to go anywhere, and that's why you like it?
No. I like it because I don't know. It feels nice when I go out there.
It's understandable. It is quite dangerous, though.
I've never gotten hurt.
No, you haven't.
Other people have.
Yes. But one day maybe you could learn how to protect yourself better, and then maybe you could go exploring. Would that be something you'd want?
I don't know. Is that something I want?
I can't tell you what you want, silly.
I want to have my own horse
To a horse.
made
It's a big
of
responsibility. Sorry, what did you
Made
say?
of chocolate.
Made of chocolate. That's something different. We can get you chocolate, but not a whole horse's worth. Maybe a small one.
Why not?
Because it would melt.
What if we went
would
somewhere
also-
colder?
I thought you said you don't want to go far from home.
What if we have a new home?
You would forsake our entire home just to go somewhere colder so that you could have a horse made of chocolate that doesn't melt.
Yes.
That's fair. Understandable. Never really visited anywhere that cold, except for one time, but it was much, much too cold. I don't think it would be very
You
fun.
don't look like you go cold places.
I don't very often, no. I don't enjoy them.
You don't wear enough clothes for cold places.
I have before, but I tend not to now. No, I grew up in the desert, so I'm much more used to hotter climates.
Is that why you don't like chocolate?
I like chocolate, I just don't like copious amounts of it like you seem to. I mean, I know that there's sweets in the world below as well. You don't like them?
No.
Is it because they aren't chocolate?
No, they've got a weird texture.
They do, don't they? They're just a little bit gritty. It's like gritty and spongy at the same time. It's very strange.
The other kids are also taller than me, and I don't like that.
I'm sorry. I can't control that one, unfortunately.
Why not?
Because you grow how you grow.
Can you make me
Can't
grow
change.
faster?
No.
But you already got me a new body.
True, I
Can
did.
you make this body grow fast?
I could not make that body grow faster, where you might be able to if you eat right and give it a lot of good vitamins that you need.
What's a vitamin?
So there's some foods that are good for you and some foods that are bad for you.
Why?
I don't know, but I hate it. But if you eat a lot of the foods that are good for you, then it'll help your body and you could potentially go stronger or taller.
Is that why Calicinder's so skinny?
Yeah. He spent all of his time away from people on his own lonesome reading until he forgot to eat.
I'd never forget to eat.
He gets very self-absorbed in his knowledge and books.
Why?
Because he's a giant nerd and he gets really interested in things and he gets distracted.
Like what things?
I don't know. Anything.
Why not?
I think some of them, lots of them are about magic. Some of them are about histories.
Mm,
Yeah. Not really my purview specifically, but
what's a purview?
it's like what you prefer to do.
Why didn't you just say that?
Maybe I've been spending too much time with Calisander.
No, you're not getting skinnier.
No. No, I'm not. But I might be using too many of his words, huh?
Maybe.
Was that intentional? Does he
No,
know?
straight up, like
Okay,
he's
I
just
didn't
like,
think so.
nah, he's just
Yeah.
kids are cruel, man.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, that just went. Someone just like, nope, not even. Boop, ignoring that. How are you liking the world below?
I don't.
I know it's not where you.
It's
I know
dark.
it's not where you all want to be.
I don't like it down here. Why do they call it the world below?
Because it's underneath the surface. It's below the surface.
Why don't we call it the world above? When
Because
we're
we
up-
didn't know that there was a world below.
Who came
I mean,
first?
the people. I don't know. That's a good question. That's a question for Calisander because remember he spends all that time reading about histories and magic and things.
I could ask Elrin.
True. Owen and Cal are a lot alike in that way.
Yeah. Why doesn't Cal have horns?
Because he's not a tiefling.
But why do you have purple skin like Calicindir?
Because tieflings come in a lot of different colors.
Are you not a starless elf?
No, I'm not an elf at all.
Oh.
No, I'm a tiefling.
Oh.
Did you think I was just the only starless that had wings and tail and horns?
I haven't met them all yet.
It's fair. There are a lot of them. But no, Cassander is actually a star elf now, so he's not even a starless elf anymore.
What's the difference?
Well, now he has a bunch of stars in his eyes and he grew 2 feet taller.
He only has 2 feet.
And he... Wait, what is the unit of measurement? I just realized that might be your problem. I used the in-canon appropriate.
No, you're
measurement
right.
of
You're
height.
right. You are.
Okay.
You're correct. It's just you're
Okay.
talking to.
You
a
said you
kid.
couldn't make us just grow randomly, though.
No, I can't.
Can
That was his
Calicindir
god.
make me taller?
No, Cassander's god technically, I guess, might be able to make you taller, but that's a
How
very
do I
rare
ask?
occurrence. I don't know. I guess you would just pray to him. I don't
It's
think
not
it's
working.
like that. No. No, he's also done a whole lot of favors for his god as well.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not like a free thing that just kind
When's
of
Donovan
happens
coming
and-
back?
Donovan's coming back when we come back.
Can he come back before then?
No.
Can Donovan do a dream with me?
I can invite Donovan, yeah. It
Okay.
probably won't be for the next few days though, because we're having to go camping and he's having to look out for bad guys.
What bad guys?
Well, right now we're going to go fight the Lich. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay, so you know what a zombie is.
No.
How old's this kid?
Finn is very young.
Does he really not know what a zombie is? I think he's like 6 or 8.
Yeah.
Somewhere between
Finn was
there.
also a slave child.
That's true.
Yeah.
So there's magic that can bring a body back to life, but not a person back to life.
Why doesn't it bring the person back?
I don't know.
Why
But
not?
they just. But because I haven't studied it.
Does Calicindir know? He reads books.
He probably knows a lot better, yeah. But it's kind of like one of those, but not quite the same because they're a lot smarter.
Wait, am I a zombie?
No, you're not a zombie.
But I got a body back.
You did get a body back, but you're still you.
So I'm not a zombie.
You're not a zombie.
What's a zombie?
It's an undead
He
creature.
just walks off. Just...
Yeah, okay. I see. Great.
Yeah, he's just following something in his mind. He's just like, fucking
Tell a
kids, man.
6-year-old about a lich. Sounds good.
With that, your watch goes by, your night goes by, eventually.
Yep.
So, as you all wake up in the morning, what all would you like to do?
I woke up especially tired.
All right, let's continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cinder,
How-
I need to know, how do you explain what a zombie is to somebody?
I mean, are they familiar with the concept of undead?
No.
Undeath?
No.
Who are you explaining what this is?
Finn. Because Finn was asking what we were doing, so I told him that we were going to go fight a lich. He asked what a lich was, so I tried to tell him what a zombie was, but he didn't know what a zombie was.
You were telling one of your
Right.
kids about a lich.
Yes.
You didn't tell the magically inclined children what lichdom was, did you?
No, of course not.
You guys have come back to the world below with 12 liches. You're aware of that, right?
Little liches.
I did not tell Finn what a lich was.
Cal's like a
I'm not.
split
I'm
second
not
of like, fuck
babysitting
Elrin.
12. I'm not babysitting 12 liches.
No, there shouldn't be
I mean-
12 liches because the far as the explanation went was a zombie is when somebody brings a body back to life, but not a person back to life.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
but now they know what it is.
So
No,
was
they
he
just-
interested in this? Do you think
No,
this would
not
come
really.
up?
He was. I mean, not
Okay.
outside of like a child's interests.
Right. Right.
Okay, like Cal,
This
I
is going to go
understand.
so
Yes,
well.
we have a little psychopath, but that doesn't mean they're all psychopaths, and most of them are just
No,
confused
it's
little children.
Oh no,
Sorry, you have a little psychopath?
Yes. Anyways,
moving on from that. No, it
Yeah.
wasn't so much that. It's more so I wasn't expecting this. Explain what a zombie is.
well, I'm
Um,
just trying. There were a lot of questions that ended up going. Oh, I don't know. Talisinder might know though because he's a nerd
Talisinder.
and he likes to listen to music
Do you get a message in your mind from
or learn about
Elrin?
magic.
Yeah.
Slight, perhaps issue. I'm trying to calm them. Not if the kids think they're liches, father. Not liches, zombies. Zombies.
Oh God. Damn it.
What?
Finn is going
No.
about the conglomerate, telling them all they're
They all
zombies because
think-
they were people and had their bodies brought back.
They all think they're zombies now.
I
fucking
already
told you.
explained to him how he wasn't a zombie.
No, Finn. I mean, Elrin just sent me a message. Finn's gone round, and now half of them think they're zombies. Oh,
Finn
God.
knows that he's not a zombie.
You
I
assume.
told
he
you
didn't
this is
know
how it
that.
starts.
He didn't know what a zombie was.
No, so
So what did you tell him?
I told him that a zombie is after somebody dies and then the body gets brought back, but not the person. That was the easiest way to dumb it down that I could. And then he asked if he was a zombie. I was like, no, because you're still you. You're here. If you
Right.
weren't conscious and knew, then you wouldn't be. Then that would be a zombie, maybe. But you would still have to die first. And then we didn't really go into that because I didn't want to talk about dying, because that's upsetting. So you know.
Right. So he heard the first bit of that and decided to run with just that. That's
God, of course he did.
makes sense.
Yeah.
The kid.
When you're dealing with
Look.
children, you definitely want to. I don't know why I'm interjecting right now in the middle of this conversation, but
Because it's
When you're dealing
hilarious
with-
stuff.
when
It
you're
is
dealing with
funny.
children, you want to get to the point across immediately because that is what they remember.
Okay,
The
well
longer
then
the
please explain.
sentence,
How would you explain what a zombie is then?
it is a force of magic taking over a force of nature.
Do you really think a 6-year-old is going to understand that?
Well, if they are well-rounded in the magical education, that is
They're
something
not
that they would
well-rounded.
understand.
They're
It
not
depends
well-rounded
which
at
of
all.
the children. See, here's the thing. It depends which of the children we're talking to. I would have different things to say to them. I mean, I imagine Elrin already knows. I imagine Zelly probably knows what a zombie is. So I hope they'll be able to, at least,
None of these kids came from good
convince them.
backgrounds.
I see.
No. I'll just send a message back to Elrin and try to. I don't know.
Luck.
Perhaps someone can explain to them. Perhaps mother.
I suppose
she can-
in the most simplest terms, I would just cause them. I would just say, "Oh, it's a monster. Stay away from the monsters." But you did. From what I understand, they think they are zombies.
Mhm.
So calling
I mean,
them monsters is probably not
yeah.
the best idea.
It's probably not the best idea to get any old person in the world below to teach them because we're raised on horrifying stories of undead creatures every day as children. So it's probably not a healthy.
That is where they are residing currently. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Probably running around telling guards that there's zombies.
Cindy, you
and
haven't
guards are
responded
going
to
like, "What the
Elrin's
fuck?"
initial message.
Right. Yes, I do need to get back to this.
the
Ellen
the time
is-
frame is over.
No, but Elrin in the book. Elrin, who have they told? How many of them think they are zombies?
Finn is biting a net, and Tarek is pulling Lila's hair, and we are playing zombies. I have a curable taste for brains.
All right.
Zelly is
Nice.
crying.
Perfection.
Anya has hidden. I don't know where she's gone. Hayden, I pushed him over to blend in, but it's all going quite well. Stop punching me!
All right.
Stop punching!
That comes out in full caps on the
Good.
book.
Good. So, well, so long as they all think it's a fun game, then that's all right.
Yeah, your
Not
children
now
biting
playing
each other and
zombies.
having a brawl.
Cal's is trying to be calm. He's just like, fuck, you know.
What's
Who's
the
looking
age range
after
of the
you?
kids?
Between 5 and 11.
11-year-old just clocks one of them.
That's the problem.
Who's looking after you at the moment?
You just get like incoherent screaming of children back because Aaron is not focused on this, as there's just all out war going on right now.
Expect a message from your mother.
Right. Flips open the book, turns to Mother's page. Mother, I'm sorry for inconveniencing you here. If it's not too much of a hassle, could you have someone check on the children? I understand that Father's not there at the moment, but just to make sure they're all right. I know that they're playing a bit at the moment, but before it gets out of hand.
It's already out of hand. Tarek cut Zelly's hair when she was asleep.
Oh God. They think they're zombies. Zamani, it's a long story, but some of them think that they're zombies.
There's no response.
Thank you.
You
Thank
just
you
get a
so
sense of
much.
disappointment back.
Tarek was the one who thought he was trying to emulate Calicindia. What could have happened?
He's still like a 6-year-old.
Tarek is 9. He saw Zelly's hair, thought it was getting a bit long,
Yeah.
finally growing. He cut it back to the way it was. Everyone's got to look prim and proper for the day's events. Just it's not his fault. He's not good with
Of course.
scissors. It's not his fault.
Mother, thank you so much. I apologize for anything. Thank you.
No,
Apologize
just
for anything.
you know
Great
she's getting the
apology.
messages, but there's just not now.
She's got other things to handle. All right.
Look, they're all they all have their own bodies now. There's bound to be issues.
Yep.
Look, we're not there. There's nothing that we can do from here.
I could just pull them
There's
all
nothing
into a
we-
big dream tonight.
You can't.
I mean, do you want to?
Yeah, I
You're able to
can.
do that when they're in
responsible
one
for
body. When they're one
I can
combined
dream with
cell,
multiple people.
you can pick a target. You can
I
bring
only
multiple
dream
people into a
one.
dream with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
we-
target one
We
person.
ruled it as yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so they have to
So
be
you can bring
here
people
with
with
us.
you into a dream with someone
Oh,
else.
Fuck.
But you can only target one person at a time.
Well,
You
damn.
have as many
Besides,
bucks to-
would you want to try and wrangle all of them yourself?
Nope.
What do you mean? That's literally what the rest of life is going to look like.
I know, but I mean, in their current state, playing zombies.
Okay, so I bring you in.
That's a threat.
Yeah, it is.
Meanwhile, we're packing.
Well,
up
it can't
and-
happen anyway, so I don't know why we're discussing this. I think we should proceed with the day's journey.
What do you mean? You know Dream.
What do you mean? I do, so we can take 2 of them.
Oh, I can just send you.
For Finn.
Well, I mean, he was asking a lot of questions that I didn't know the answers to.
All right, but I mean,
I mean,
I guess.
what we could do is we could just have you explain to all of them at some point.
Right, what a zombie is.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
You know what? We'll come back to
Immediate
this
thing.
as we camp tonight. We can circle back to this.
Mm-hmm.
It's going so
Yes.
well.
Donnie,
So
how would you
Donnie
like
just
to?
absolutely flashes
You know,
Donnie a wink.
Donnie, I did hear that some of the kids were interested in spending some time with you.
You don't
No,
know
you
that.
didn't.
No, you didn't. You absolutely
This is
did
Gal
not.
Bu-
No,
this is Gal
no.
bullshitting.
No. Zamani knows that. I didn't share that with you. Don't you dare metagame that bullshit.
Look,
I was gonna
Your
have that
father's been
conversation
gone for
later
like
when
2
we're on the
days, and the
road.
kids have divulged all-out war. Reminds me of
Wrath,
fucking Oblivion.
Cal.
It's been a while since I've had a good brawl.
you cannot metagame parenthood. As much as you would like to, that's not the
I'm
case.
metagaming parenthood.
You can
alright?
you can metagame
Alright?
anything else, just
Calicindir,
not
a
parenthood.
message comes through to your mind. Quick update: we found out Neve's power. She's quite good with marksmanship. Stop throwing things. Stop throwing things.
It's chaos. It's chaos, money. Plain and simple. In there.
Okay, well, what was actually
I
said?
don't think. People are throwing things. Tarek cut Zelly's
Who
hair
is
because he
throwing
thought it was
things?
getting to
No.
things.
Who is throwing?
Which one of the was throwing things? Des?
Neve, and she has perfect
Neve.
accuracy.
Oh yeah, that's because she can't
Neve.
miss.
Right, and then
Weird,
Tarek
I
cut
already knew.
Zelly's hair as well.
Oh god. Wait, why would Tarek cut Zelly's hair?
Because he thought it was getting too long and he wanted to have it be returned to how it was before.
She's
Zelly's
making this
hair
track
crying.
for kids. I feel like I'm getting this well.
Oh, so
He's been
Neve
gone for
literally
2
can't
days.
miss. So you know.
He's been gone for 2 days.
Are you saying that your father is the only capable person in the world below when it comes to taking care
There's a
of 12
difference
children?
between capability and who these kids
Yes.
will listen to.
That's exactly what I'm
that's true.
saying.
Oh, I just
I
think
mean,
it's funny.
Kelsier, it took Kelsier a long time to be able to work them.
Oh, it did. Absolutely. I just find it funny that the very militant and in control nation of Starless Elves now has 12
zombies.
magically inclined children running amok, and they're apparently acting like there's nothing that they can do.
I mean, I suppose the easy way of saying is, do you want them raised as starless?
Oh, absolutely not. I just think it's funny.
And I think that is what has them at a loss.
To be fair, no one ever asked me, so
But
to be
I
fair,
know
it's
that
whatever
Mar-
instructions your father left with them.
which is what I'm curious about. Mother is aware of it, though. She is trying her best.
Oh, she's so busy.
Small third update: Marcus broke his leg.
Marcus has now broke his leg.
What?
Marcus has now broken his leg.
Okay, well now you need to go send a reply that gives me more information.
Callum's in here just relaying this in a panic.
Which
Right,
one's
um,
Marcus?
How did Marcus
What
break
can
his
Marcus
leg?
do?
1 second. Is someone looking after Marcus at the moment? Has anyone come to provide attention?
There is assistance on the way. Marcus assured us he could control some elements, but I think he forgot there's not much
Right.
of a breeze down in the world below. You fucking idiot! Sorry, I cursed, Father. Sorry, I
Don't
cursed,
curse,
Father.
Aaron. Don't curse. All right, I don't hear that again. Now tell me what happened to his leg.
Well, he was stop pulling at me. I'm sending him. I'll tell Father about this. Marcus assured us he could control the elements. He was able to make fire
Right.
dance, and he was able to control some of the water in the lake. And then he tried to jump off the roof, saying he could glide himself down, but he missed.
He threw himself off the roof.
To be fair, he did slow the landing a little bit.
So Marcus can control the elements. Good to know.
He,
Okay.
Zamani, he threw himself off the roof thinking he could
Oh, fuck,
control
would you
the
look it up?
air.
May is fixing it.
And now May is fixing his leg.
They have a ranger.
They can heal.
Apparently.
What should you do? Throw a pillow at it?
Right. Thank
There's
you
no more
for keeping me
messages.
up to date.
No
Thank you for keeping me up to date with this, Elrin. Is Mother around at the moment?
You can try and message her again. It's just screams of children fucking in midst conflict now.
I feel sorry for them. The people
Sorry for who?
assigned to look after the kids, of course. Oh, they don't know.
So,
what to do.
Zamani, Calisyndia, it's nice to have you both focused for the day ahead.
All we're doing is traveling. What do you want?
How far away until we start feeling the effects of the lair?
Well, about a day out, so you've got about 4 days before you're there, so maybe 3 days.
Cool.
I do hope they're around.
Yeah, it is very video. That's a very good one. A child now realizing they can fix injuries. How severe an injury can they fix?
I'm just gonna say it right now, as the trouble kid growing up, if that was available to me, I would have tried so much harder.
Look, half of these things is like Cat was like, this is why getting their two bodies back was maybe too quick. Because we don't know
All
half
I
of what
want
they
for
can fucking
Christmas is a 300 GP diamond.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is where we're going to go ahead and take our first break as all-out war breaks down in the world below Crash.
They're actually gonna become zombies now.
Yeah. We'll be
Yeah,
back in about 5
yeah.
minutes. We'll see you soon. welcome back. Don't worry, no one heard that.
Good.
So,
Good.
as you pack up your camping supplies for the morning, you set about on another day, another day's trip towards Gromather's lair.
Anyone else want to roll the perception?
No.
Yeah, thanks for offering, Jen.
Or I can give.
I didn't. I
You
said
know what?
no.
You know what? I'll do it. I'll do it. Do you know what, AJ? I'll
You
do
get
it.
advantage.
I get advantage. You know what? Fuck it. Let's go.
No. I said advantage, not advantage.
I said what I
For
said,
someone
I
who
meant what I
says Nim
said.
of Honor, I don't think you have room to talk.
That is a 23.
23. Okay. So as the day progresses, maybe about an hour or so after you pack up and move on, keeping your eyes steady on the road, you notice something shimmers almost like a mirage on the horizon. And as you do, like there's this large archway that just forms on the road.
Does it appear familiar?
Not overly.
Okay.
We all see it.
When Calcinder points it out, yes.
Something.
Zamani, you
something overhead,
recognize
not-
this immediately. This is the Lord of Decay's sort of structure.
Archway up ahead. Not sure what it is.
Oh, fuck, here we go.
That's a Lord of Decay archway.
Alright, everyone
Decay.
good.
Oh shit. Okay. Here we go.
Do you know about this, Zamani? Has he contacted you?
No.
Normally he doesn't contact
Alright.
you before he sends an archway, but the odd thing is, Zamani, is normally they're only visible to you.
This seems more like a group invite because if not, then only I would be able to see it.
Like a party.
This is weird. I would not be
Sorry.
invited.
I'm sorry. What
We
does
don't
this
get along.
archway symbolize? What does this?
My
So we-
patron is inviting us in.
The Lord of Decay, one of the Lords of the Hells.
Nice
Nice.
prick.
See.
Yeah.
Well,
Because I basically
prepared
had
to
like
meet
no
your
like
first level.
concern against like being with like the Lord of Decay anymore, right?
Yeah. it's
Yeah.
pretty-
I was like, okay, well, let's go. I'm just gonna
Just
start
gotta-
walking over.
let's
I'm
not
gonna
keep him
shoot
waiting. then.
Calicinda a look.
Just to returns, look back to Donnie. Like, yeah.
Oh fuck, here we go.
Yeah.
So,
Body.
Yes.
And then snap Tuvu back into the body or the golem form.
okay. So as you
Oh,
make your way through, as they
Don't
get
worry
closer-
too much. He's a dickhead. He's not dangerous.
He's not awful. It's pretty good.
Archway
Good
gets
mate.
closer.
He doesn't really like me.
I'm walking towards it. Like I'm talking as I'm walking.
As you walk through, it comes to this. Again, for some of you that haven't seen it before, it's a beautiful raised platform that looks over the entire swamp. It's a imposing structure. Inside, surrounded all walls are glass. There's just a lone desk, a green-skinned tiefling with curled horns, slicked back hair, and a nice burgundy suit. He sees you all come through, and he just looks up from the desk and he goes, "Well, please, have a seat."
Are we alone in the room?
You are.
Take a seat.
I don't sit.
Neither.
Calicinda sits.
so I just sits and everyone just standing there, like hands on their hips, like just in a
Oh,
line.
okay.
He just
Helen.
woke up.
Zeph doesn't sit. Tuvu does.
Yeah, some of you are quite
Two
stone.
big crisscross applesauce.
That's all.
What do you want, Zavathrin?
Is that supposed to phase me?
No. I'm busy.
Really? Well, if you're incredibly busy, you may leave. But I thought someone who is fighting against a god would want to hear the information promised to Zamani on how to kill a god.
Yes, all right. I'll pull up a chair and I'll sit backwards on it.
He just like looks at you, just like there's like Slifer is just like disgust.
Yeah, there's no respect
It's like
here.
a what the fuck is Donnie sort of a look.
No, he knows of Donnie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Zamani gets out her little journal that she like normally keeps. Like,
Well, there are options. There are many, many options for killing Divinity, but he kind of looks over the group and goes, Calycinda, are you sick? Are you sick?
What is that supposed to mean?
It's,
Are you just inquiring after my general health, or is there...
well, yes, your connection to your soul seems rather weak.
To be expected, the weight of the shards is taxing.
Interesting. I would be careful with that. It looks like it's ready to snap away from your body like a string. I'd be careful on
I appreciate
dangerous encounters, I would imagine. Coming back would be extremely unlikely.
I appreciate your concern.
It's not concern. Well, as I was saying, Zamani, when we talked last, I did promise opportunities. Well, not opportunity, but information on how you could go about killing Liz African, your fool's errand.
anything helps.
Well, partially why I open this to all of you, open my home to all of you, is I have something that could help. But it's extremely powerful, and not exactly up your alley, my dear. Calycinda.
Okay.
As he kind of puts a hand up from the ground, you see a staff from this odd black wood that seems to absorb the light around it. It's got almost like crackles of gold that go up and down it. It seems to almost like have its own aura exuding off it. A staff. Seems very up your alley.
What is
Indeed,
it?
it would. Yes, my first question, followed by what is the price associated with this?
Well, very quick on the draw. This is a item uniquely associated with the Celestial Realm. There are many items in the world, some of unique properties, and for each realm of existence there is an item seen to unmake it. This is a staff from Rebos that could unmake Celestials. Or gods, I suppose, as you mortals call them.
That would certainly help.
I am curious, so you mentioned this supposedly has the capability to unmake.
Yes.
Why haven't you used it yet?
Could you imagine the chaos?
You are fighting against Celelio.
Oh, yes, and if I'm the first being to kill a god, that's quite suspicious on my part. Put quite the target on me
Not
if it was
first.
known that I had the ability to do so. I would have many of the angels and celestials rallying to Celelio's side, I'm sure. But you can set a precedent. And then if another celestial or two seems to die afterwards, not so much of an issue for me. After all, I am at war with Celelio, and she will die. Do not take it for a second that she won't. We have the united forces of the regions against her. I don't need the staff to do it, but it would make it incredibly much so easier. I know some of what you've been up to. Donovan, you've quite the mind to be assembling many good agencies. I had not pegged you for that, so I tip my hat to you.
You're not wearing a hat, so that means nothing.
Would you like me to fetch a hat, Donovan? Would it mean more?
What do you want? Are you trying to bargain with us?
I don't need to bargain
And-
with you. I have the lady's money for any bargains I so wish to make.
Yes, I know.
I think
about
I would
that
like...
too.
I mean, we've been invited here because of a bargain, not to strike a bargain, as far as I'm aware.
I imagine
Everything
you
has a
hadn't
price with this
at-
prick.
Yes, I've already
Watch your
paid it.
tongue
Precisely.
in my home. I won't say it again.
Fine.
That was the second part to my question, and I imagine you have more to say on the matter of this staff.
I do. You see, it's a strong artifact, and I've collected many a great strong things in my days. Many a very great strong things, and giving one up, even temporarily, such an item, I can provide information, but providing a means, that's different. That's not what we agreed on. I will provide means to help you. I simply ask for one of two things. Should you kill a Zephyr, I would very much so appreciate the body to study. I think there's a great much deal I could learn from it. And preferably, and I would make it very worth your while. Very, very worth your while. To any of you. If you could capture him alive, I would provide means of sealing. It would be much easier than killing.
It would, but forgive me, I'm unsure what you think of us, but that seems to be an awful deal for us in the long run.
I haven't the foggiest idea why you might think so. I know you want me to be some great villain to you, but when have
No,
I
not to
been?
me, to everyone.
When have I been?
Not yet. But why would have you been so far?
Do you know something I don't, Calicindia? Something about me that I am planning on doing?
Please, you got the name Father of Schemes from somewhere. Don't act like you're not.
Father of schemes, yes, but schemes are not always for the detriment of the cosmos.
Perhaps
Got
not.
a negative
But
connotation.
I do
to
know
it.
that there's far more to all of this than you would let on, or even tell us in the first place. I imagine that there's a multitude of reasons why you'd want this African to study, and a multitude of things that you can gain from having his body, alive or dead, in your possession. And I can hardly see these benefiting us.
I see they don't concern you.
I think they do. So, as it were, if that is the price, then that is one that I do not think I'd be willing to pay. The
Interesting.
body of an incredibly powerful celestial, as it were.
What do you think will happen to it when you kill him? What's the alternative?
I am unsure.
Depends on who gets the blow, I guess.
It does depend on who gets the blow.
As you said, we'll be setting a precedent.
What happens with the domains of magic
The domains of magic.
if he's sealed away?
I imagine you're going to sever that
storms
before
and
you
sorts.
kill him.
Yes.
I assume, talking to my brother recently, that that's something you and Samael should be discussing on exactly
But
who
if it-
gets what domains.
But if he lives,
He'll be no better than a powerful celestial. That's all they are, really, the ascended gods. Very, very strong celestials.
Does that mean that every celestial gets power from worship?
Inadvertently, the celestials, angels, and the like, they get power from the gods they serve. Some of them
So
flock
the-
to major gods, some of them don't.
Does that mean that if an unaffiliated celestial were to somehow gain an immense amount of worship, they could become ascended? In
No,
the
you
eyes
need
of,
to have
or
the
like-
innate celestial connection to receive the power. But if a celestial is small and minor, they could eventually, it's never been done, but become something equivalent of a minor god or saint. I mean, look at Manoa. She's a minor god verging on major now because of the sheer amount of worship she gets.
Thank you.
I'm asking to just have the body of a strong celestial. Much to study, much to gain.
Precisely. There is much to gain.
and in return I'm offering you a staff that could unmake the celestial realm. I think it quite fair.
Indeed, you
Is this a
are.
limited time offer?
It is not. I do like answers prompt, but this one does not need to be.
Thank you for the time.
You're welcome, Samani. And as you all said, like as you pointed out very
Oh,
well,
there.
what happens to Lezefikin when he dies, it really depends on who gets the killing blow, doesn't it? Because realistically, if there's... Well, if I'm to think of it as you all, and hello, you must be new. I have heard little about you, Zeph. But if you
So,
were all to be
pleasure.
fighting Lezefikin, if Zamani gets the final blow on him, it does not matter to me anyway. I will take the soul sent to me.
And tell me, I'm curious about this staff. It is obviously of immense arcane power, enchantments beyond anything that humanity could even dream of.
This was made by no one from humanity, I can assure you that.
Right, and so wielding it,
You have a
Is
certain
there-
unique aptitude for strenuous magical artifacts. I wouldn't be offering if I didn't think you were
That's-
capable.
no, but that is a pertinent question, though. How will it interact with the shards? Will the weight of it be too much to bear in the long run?
Quite the opposite, actually. I think it would help make your shards more manageable. Such powerful celestial magic could even strengthen your own connection to your soul.
See, here's the interesting part of meeting with you compared to your brother, is that with your honeyed words, half the time I have no idea if you're lying or telling the truth.
I do not take much time to lie. It's easier to hide in the truth. I've always stuck to my word.
That's what makes you dangerous.
Correct.
But, as you have already said, we do have a bit of time to consider this immediate offer.
Not right this moment, but I urge you this other way. What avenues of knowledge do you have? And I don't mean this as something to bash at your planning. Killing a celestial. My brother
None that we've
knows
explored
little.
in any great detail as
You
of
don't
yet.
know much. Let's be honest.
No. Of course not, but that is why we need to continue. So we do know. And not just take the first thing that immediately crosses our path before we have the knowledge to know better or worse.
You know, we've got to shop around a bit.
I don't think
It's
that
better to
there's
be
harm in
informed.
hearing him out, though.
Oh, yeah. And that is what we've
There's no
done.
harm.
And I'm more than
True.
welcome to keep on hearing him out.
To
He
be
has
fair,
more to
though,
add to
you did
it.
just cut him off.
Thank you, Zamani. How are the kids?
Chaotic.
As they so are at that age.
Hopefully, we'll be able to spend more time with them soon.
I would much like to think so. You should have much time left ahead of you.
And then hopefully they will not think they're zombies soon.
I beg your what?
Finn asked what a zombie was, and Finn had no idea of what undead was, so I said that it was when a body gets brought back, but not a person. And because they were all combined and now they're all separate, Finn decided that they were zombies. And now Finn decided to tell everyone else that they're also zombies, so now they all think they're zombies.
To be that age again. To give them my best next time you see them.
You sure? Do they know you?
They did have to meet me briefly. They're safe. I did not make any deals with them. For those of you that are so curious, I can see it on your face. You wear it well.
Curiosity is not the word I'd be using.
Schemes and suspicion are fast bedfellows.
Oh no, this is hostile protectionism. Keep them away from any deals.
Of course.
I don't intend to
That
make
wasn't
any
to
with
use
them.
money.
If they did come
Good.
looking for something, if it was within my means to help, I assure you I would have their best interests at heart.
I would rather they find their own ways through the world.
I'm not approaching them. But eventually they will grow up and they will make their own decisions, and if that leads them to me, so be it.
Just turn them away.
It depends if I have something to gain from it.
That it is.
I mean, by the same logic, you would not have Zamani by your side, Calicinda, if I did not make the deals I do, so let's not sit around and pretend that they don't help people as well.
Excuse me?
Zamani, she would be dead if not for me.
I'm well aware of that.
So, if they do come to me and ask for a favor down the line, so be it. I won't turn them away. I don't turn my back on people.
If you have something to gain.
Exactly. They are capable. They show great potential.
Don't you ever go near them.
That's not up to me. It's up to them. I'm not in the habit of taking away people's options.
Well, if that's all,
It's not, but I was quite rudely interrupted of what I was trying to provide insight on how to kill a god, as information was promised in exchange for the original contract. But I do see two people so foolishly reaching for weapons by instinct alone, perhaps.
Nah, he's not worth the sword.
If looks could kill, I'm sure you two would have me squared away with right now.
your information then?
Yes, if you.
I understand when my hospitality is not wanted, so I'll allow the rest of you to wait aside and I'll give the Lady Zamani what she was promised.
Is that what the promise was? Because I believe the promise was to give Cal information on how to kill a god.
It was to give Zamani,
No.
it was never
Nope.
for Cal.
It was to give us the money.
He was offering Cal the staff.
said-
Okay.
Yeah, he was offering Cal the
Okay.
staff, but
No,
yeah, it
I
was always the
thought
money.
way
with
back
the
when it
knowledge.
was. I thought Cal
No.
was mentioned way back then.
So for Zamani's deal to be like, Zamani would never involve other people unless like she had to. Like, she only involved the kids because it was to save them in her mind. Like, she would never
Right.
be like, oh yeah, to give Cal this information, because she would just take it for
Cool.
herself.
Alright, awesome. Sure.
Do you think I'll
I've seen
manage?
what happens when we leave someone unsupervised in your care. I don't plan on making that mistake again. Zamani, if you want us to leave, we will, but
I mean,
it'll be her decision.
I
And
don't
I'm
think you quite
per-
understand how my domain works. It's not like my brother's. If I want you to be gone, you will be gone.
so I'm fine here. I'm perfectly okay.
This is
I've been here
home.
many times.
Home.
Merc's already stepped
eternal.
out.
I wish the two of you a very pleasant meeting. Zamani, my love, I'll be outside.
She'll reach
What?
over and give him like a hand squeeze.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get up and kick the chair to the side.
It just as you get
Until next time.
vanishes into
Yeah.
smoke.
Until next time. Always a pleasure.
I'm sure.
You find Merc beating up a tree with her sword.
So, Samani, that was tense. I don't think your friends quite like me.
No.
I'm still here. I will
Oh,
see you
Zeph.
later.
You're more than welcome to stay.
So it's just there, like eating
I
like the
love Zeph.
complimentary candies on the table.
Yeah.
Looking outside.
Oh, Vidi, you're the best.
But that
Zeph
does
just
bring
playing
a
in the
good
swamp.
point, though, Zeph. You are still here. You don't share the same reservations, perhaps. You were not rude. I will not ask you to leave if you do not wish.
It is a rather interesting situation, but from an objective standpoint, if it is something that is required, then it is a requirement.
It's up
If
to
you do not mind, I will be here as an observer.
As long as you can mind your manners, I have no issue with it.
Is Tuvu also minding their manners?
I'd say so, yeah. There is like immense magical pressure coming off this dude. Tube is just like, nah, fuck that.
I ain't touching that.
Well, there are, I suppose, 10 points that I like to come to when it comes to slaying any strong creature. Specifically for gods, though, I suppose the first thing is divine weaknesses. Is there specific vulnerabilities or weaknesses in his African? Is he weakened when he's away from storms, or perhaps some sort of substance like the Archfey, Coline? So to speak, there's no material that seems to affect divinity. Except Ruby.
Ruby?
There is a certain cluster of rubies that grows in Robosa.
Like the
Seems-
gemstone.
Not quite same as on the material realm. So, it's something to think about. It's if you could, well, make your way to Robosa before the issue arises, then it would be beneficial, I suppose, in my mind, to seek out the various things that could help. There is, well, there's Ruby here, but it's not the same.
You said it grows.
It does grow
Like
in some
plants.
parts of Robosa. It does. There is also another thing that is capable, in theory, of killing Celestials. Outright as well, not just severing or the like. There is, well, how familiar are you with the Great Worms?
I know that there's the big obsidian one nearby where we're at now.
There is
I
a
think
great worm for every realm of existence, my dear. On Robosa, it is the Jade Great Worm. They remember a time before the Ascended Gods. They watch the Ascended Gods. They are the ones that pulled the Ascended Gods to the realm of angels because it was against the natural order of things. And the Great Worms, historically speaking, are not without their corruptions, not without their ways to manipulate. We could turn the Jade Great Worm against the Zephyr. It would possibly help if we put force in the right places. We put the screws on where they're needed, and we apply pressure and it's not impossible to do so. There are the second point, I suppose, the artifacts that are capable of killing gods. I've told you this. This is the staff. I've made it known to you.
Yes.
Third point, Donovan seems to have been doing quite well on so far, so I am somewhat impressed. Severing the mortal agents of Lizaffican, it's a good idea. It does help, all in all.
At least a weekend, if not
Yes.
fully sever.
There is also the next point, rituals. I believe if we could find the ritual that was used to ascend, because the artifact by itself was ascended with, but there was a ritual surrounding it. We could create something akin to a counter to that. It wouldn't kill, but it would certainly weaken. Perhaps cut off some of that connection to worship. Another thing is divine alliances. There are some gods which you've already reached out to for help, so props on you to that one. You have done so well.
And if we're fighting a god, it's pertinent to reach out to as many people as possible.
There are some that are better than others, and you've made your decision, so I won't comment much on that. There are more ruthless ones that I may have reached out to, but you've started down your own path. There are many mortal artifacts which you're already going about collecting. Your new bow being one of them will help. Many, many strong artifacts. There is 2 other points of, well, approach. Various planar insights. Lizaffican is connected to Rebosa and the prime material, of course, but some planes are innately more lethal or harder for him to worm away from. We could lure him to one of these planes, somewhere where he would be weakened. That would also suffice for some strong potential. Then I suppose the last is to look to the history of god slaying. There are many accounts across many realms of gods falling. Ascended, yes, there. Only a saint has fallen. But true divinity, old gods, a great many have died. The Irene on your plane of existence, in fact, has killed many a god.
In Dravidin.
I do. And others. There is a being much more stronger than the old gods that has killed many.
What do you mean?
The Void Dragon, my dear.
I thought he was just here.
The Void Dragon.
And the Void Dragon is the. We didn't know that, or I mean, Cal knew.
Zamani didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay. What? I'm sorry. Could we explain that chunk of information a little bit? What do you mean realms?
Well, there was once upon a time 13 realms, my dear.
What?
A long time ago, I assure you.
And the Void Dragon destroyed them, and now the Void Dragon is here. Well, I
It's
guess
not here.
not quite.
It's in 2 of 3 parts assembled again. And I assure you I am no fan of the Void Dragon. But you can look to its methods for help. That staff I mentioned is one of 13 items created by the Void Dragon to unmake. There are others such like that. There is even one for your precious realm of existence that, well, I don't have it yet.
I mean, they wouldn't all exist in this realm.
They all existed on their own respective realms.
But they've been moved.
Throughout the
destroyed.
centuries, they cannot be destroyed. They are artifacts of pure destruction.
I see. Does that mean that there are also artifacts of pure creation?
There are two.
Too.
Yes.
Why would there be 13 of destruction but only 2 of creation?
Well, there was only fit to see two made, I suppose. I have asked myself that many times, though.
I know a lot about this.
I'm a studied individual.
Well, yes.
I'm a collector. I've collected primordial titans. I've collected beings of raw energy. I've collected items of pure destruction. It would behoove me to know exactly what I'm collecting and what I'm doing with them. I've even, for quite some time, had an item of an artifact of pure creation with me for quite some time. And I've known the location of the other for, well, as long as I can remember.
That implies that they're both here.
They're not both here, I assure you, but they are frequently moving.
They carried with somebody.
One could say.
Huh. Would those be helpful?
Indirectly.
So it would be better than to seek out the artifacts of destruction if at all possible.
They would be better at killing.
True.
The staff I already have. I have a few others. I don't want to worry you too much about them, but they won't help for your god problem.
Fair.
I would implore
What
you
are
to...
the realms of? I'm sorry.
No, ask your questions if you so wish.
Do you know what the other realms were of? I mean, every realm seems to be kind of... I don't know, they generally seem to be of things. You have the Celestials, you have the Primaterial, you have... What did we lose?
They were... They were quite something different. They were, for a time, one very small one. It housed creation incarnate. There was another that homed the old gods.
The old gods aren't from here.
Not originally. They come from beyond the void. Their own plane that's been lost to the void dragon. Your beloved's guiding light is one of those beings that so separated the void dragon and helped after their own planet was consumed.
So?
But the others... Regrettably, I was very young when the other was destroyed, but there was once a plane of pure water.
I'm sorry, wait a moment. You said you were very young when they were destroyed?
Correct. I told you, I am ancient. This is not news to you, Zamani.
Yes, but I thought this was ancient as in, like, hundreds of years ago in Durapadan.
Well,
Or something.
No, you're talking old gods, thousands of years.
Are you saying that you're older than the old gods?
It depends on which old god you talk about. Some, I assume, probably, yes. I'm older than the Eye of Ruin.
I mean, the old gods that I know.
Well, you know the Eye of Ruin. You've met him.
Oh, yes. Lovely individual. So you're not just a tiefling, then?
I was never just a tiefling. In fact, I was not even a tiefling my entire life, Simon.
How's that possible? Wait, you're... Okay, you and Xerxes are brothers, though. So you're both like.
Xerxes is my older brother, by a few moments.
Huh. Just, are you even from here?
From Osiris, no.
No, not as serious. The Puntos. Prime material, whatever.
I've called it home for, well, I called it home for a great many years, but no, not originally.
I'm sorry, that's just a little trippy.
It is.
I feel like I've been let in on a big secret, but you're seeming very nonchalant about this, which makes it feel like it's common knowledge that I should have known.
No, this is very secretive. But if my brother sees it so fit to entrust some of this information to your betrothed, I feel like my agent should have the information as well.
What?
Your betrothed Calicinda, he knows some of this. Recently.
And he didn't. How recently?
If you, I'm not sure how time's kind of progressing. A few days, maybe a day or two. I only know from talking to my brother recently. I don't know exactly what time he told.
That's fair.
I wouldn't be getting annoyed at him over it.
He has a habit for keeping secrets.
He does. He is quite the, well, doesn't matter.
He's a scheming mongrel, but he's my scheming one.
Exactly. He is yours, so I do not wish to say anything that would damage his character in front of you.
Okay, that implies that there's additional things that I should be concerned about.
There's many great things you should be concerned about that person.
Okay.
I can't live your life for you, Zamani. You must make your own mistakes.
You think Alexander's a mistake?
For you, a miscalculation.
Of what?
Perhaps potential.
How so?
His mind tips very easily.
Yes.
He's all right, but perhaps I'm a little more stable. But we can't choose who we love.
Interesting. Thank you for sharing.
I've always supported you, Zamani, since the moment we made our pact. You know
I know.
this.
Of course.
You have your information. And in an effort to perhaps be more revealing than my brother, do you have questions about my origin? Xerxes always deals in secrets. Tells you the
He
truth
does.
he wishes. He is the one who lies, not I.
Anything. Of course. I'm so overwhelmed with the new information that I want to know everything, but I don't know how to ask.
I could start from the beginning if it would so fit you.
Sure, if you want. Whatever you'd like.
A long, long time ago, there was a being called the Divine Observer, a being of utmost creation. And he was powerful, unlike anything you could imagine. But the universe has a way of balancing itself. So there was a being called the Void Dragon, willed into existence perhaps just to counteract it. A being of utmost creation and utmost destruction. And for each 13 realms that my father created, the Void Dragon created a means to destroy them. So my father made two beings that could seek to protect them. Myself and my brother. We had a home all to ourselves, a plane of existence, just for the two of us. A small little plane to house creation itself. And we were happy for so long. Then the Void Dragon came to be, and I realized that the man I put on a pedestal for my entire life was nothing but a farce, a force of energy that willed me into existence for nothing. He did not protect my home. I was a child and I lost what was mine. I had an older brother set to protect me and he did his best, but we were children. And you know what it's like to be a child on the run, living rough, and I ended up worse than most could imagine. I have a language no one speaks but me and my brother. Perhaps the old gods remember it so. But a long time ago, I was sent to a place very bad. A city known as Ravenwell. On Quenthos, you see. It was horrid. And I was but a child, and my brother as well. And he set out to protect me. We did our best, being pursued by the Void Dragon as it tried to destroy everything around us. We fled to 4 planes of existence, and it is our fault 4 planes of existence are no more. And then we met someone, just like you. Just like you did. Someone who said they would protect us. Someone that would truly, truly see us okay. And things were okay for a while. And that's when I got turned into what I am. That is when the dark flame twisted me and my brother to be what we are today. Infernal. And abysmal. And I made what was best of it. If you want to turn me into a devil, I will be the best devil. Because I will not be a devil of destruction like the dribble that runs around Osiris. I will create something truly great and truly powerful out of this society. And I will collect a great many things, unlike my brother. Seeks to play at godhood. No, I seek to play at creation, because my father saw it so fit not to do it any longer. There are 4 realms of existence that need to be brought back, and I can get that power. And I will do a great many beautiful things. A great, great many beautiful things. I hope you like that story, Zeph. I hope you like that story.
I forgot Zeph was there. What the fuck?
Zeph has been writing this down the entire time, just for record keeping.
Somebody has her notebook and she has not written a single thing in it because she's just been absorbed in the story.
So you ask yourself sometimes, why was I the one that reached out to you? Because you were a child in a situation where the world saw it fit to take advantage of you. And I saw myself in you. Twisted, beaten and bloodied by the world that had sought to put me down. And I said no more.
I'm sorry.
So am I.
It won't change anything. I'm sorry. No one should have to go through those things.
You're not wrong. But I've come to terms with it. And I will make it right.
I hope pursuing and doing so leads you to the closure that you deserve.
It will.
Let me know.
You will play a crucial part in it.
I'd like to help.
Get me Lizafrican's body. Be the one to land the final hit, my dear. Even if they don't take the staff.
I'll do my best. How will that help?
More research, more knowledge.
I'll do it again. Thank you.
I think you'll find that story a little bit more complete than my brother's.
I'm definitely gonna make Cal quite jealous with it.
You have your information. You have methods to start working. You have ideas to start churning. I will guide you down pathways as they come closer to you. But for now, you have your information. And Zeph, you had quite the show, so I say you both may leave now.
Have a good day.
Zeph, though,
Yes.
your life has been that of a hardship too.
All
You
of our
were.
lives are built out of hardship.
But just as I extended a hand to Zamani for help, I shall so do it for you. How would you like to fly again?
This is where I believe that you and I differ, Lord of Decay. I believe that individuals are built out of the hardship. It is not what people do in order to put things back the way that they were again. It is how they act within those hardships. So while I appreciate your offer, perhaps we could come to a different agreement in the future.
I can respect your point of view. And if ever there's something you wish of me, don't let them always paint me the villain.
Historically, they have not. You just need to know where to look.
If ever you need my help, just call out. Your prayer won't fall on deaf ears. Enjoy yourself on your travels, and best of luck, Gromthia.
Thank you. Tuva, we're leaving.
You just see Tuva is just like stacking like these little infernal rocks, and he's just like, he looks up and you can take them. Tuva just like grabs these like little pebbles and he's just like, and he leaves.
And the rest of the party just sees us walk through the gate and it's out.
You see Merc surrounded by splinters and twigs and an X tree.
You didn't have to take
Damn,
it out
she
on the
dated
tree.
that tree.
How was it? I hope a productive conversation.
Oh, absolutely. Exceedingly informative too.
All right. I trust by the fact that Zeph was there the whole time that it's information that we're allowed to know.
Probably.
Well, if I wasn't allowed to tell you, then I would be told I'm not allowed to tell you.
I believe the specific instructions we were given was to use this information.
Yeah. He actually gave many things, not just one avenue that sorry, not just one avenue that we could go about to helping to fight African. Apparently in the celestial realm there are rubies that grow that can help defeat a god. What Donnie's doing to help potentially luring African out of where into a plane that weakens him. Dad's helped me because you then told a really big story after you told me all of the information, and I was
so
trying to be a good
kind
role
of
player.
break it down into a bit is divine weakness is the rubies, the artifact he has the staff, working to get through the mortal agents, reverse engineering the ritual of ascension to counter charm
That
it.
one.
Other divine alliances which you're already working on, so he doesn't want to give other ideas. Then bring him to another plane of existence that would be weak, he would be more susceptible to death on. And then beings of god-slaying history like the Eye of Ruin and such.
Okay.
And the Void Dragon. And he told you about 13 items.
I think the
Also,
only
I'll be
other
back in just a
things.
second.
Yeah. So I think that the only other things were potentially finding the ritual that the gods used to ascend and reverse engineering it to try to help sever that tie. And
Right.
also speaking with the old gods who have also killed gods for advice.
Right, that's good. That's good.
And
So
then
we can try
also
to
the
look into
fact that he's
these.
older than basically time itself.
What?
Sorry, what?
Him
So
and
he told
Xerxes
you, did he?
both. Apparently he told me a more complete version than what you got.
Older than time.
Basically.
According to the Lord of Decay, they were present very early on and witnessed many things.
Hang on
So
a
they're not
minute.
from around here.
So
No.
when did were you going to tell us?
I wasn't too sure. I
Why
mean,
not?
Xerxes did leave me with the fact that none of you would believe me if I told you.
And so
I mean, that's true.
you believe
I wouldn't.
you agreed with that.
No, I was more waiting for, I suppose, more evidence to emerge. So I could prove the story.
Where are we going to get evidence that they're older than time?
I believe it.
We'll be in their company enough that I'm sure something's going to come out.
So that staff was made by the Void Dragon.
To destroy Robosa.
Yeah, I didn't like the feel of that stuff.
There's 12 more.
It made me nauseous.
One for each of the planes.
There are
So we
13 items to destroy 13 planes. Yet there are 2 items
People.
to individuals incapable of reversing such things. Of creation.
Right. The 2 children in the story.
What story?
I imagine he told you. I mean, how did he tell it to you? Was it as a story or was it?
I mean, kind of the way that anyone would talk about something that happened to them.
His storytelling prose could use a little bit of work.
Yes. Xerxes is far more of a storyteller.
What was Xerxes' version?
That there were 2 kids. Well, started at the beginning, the Divine Observer, the being of utmost creation of the whole universe, created everything. And then in the balance of it all, the Void Dragon emerged, being of utmost destruction. And then there were 2 children created by the Divine Observer at the beginning, the first living creatures ever created, beings of creation, as it were, who lived a happy life together until the Void Dragon came for them and chased them across the worlds, across the planes, destroying much in its wake, until it was eventually defeated, broken down into 3 separate pieces.
I see.
I mean, there's a lot
So they
more
have-
to it as well. There was a story about a water planet and coming to this world and everything else, but
In the
broad
worlds
strokes.
before,
and the ones
something
before.
bad happened.
Did Xerxes ever mention anything about the father?
The Divine Observer.
Yes.
This is a divine observer. How do they interpret
Yes.
them?
As flawed, but not malicious in intent. A being of creation, but not of caring. But not an
Yes.
evil being.
This is where the stories differ.
Yeah.
the Zillow Decay has a
Resentment.
very resentment, abandonment issues, if you will, regarding the
Daddy Decay's got daddy issues.
Both Xerxes and Decay
Of
has
course
daddy
he's
issues.
got- Of course,
They
they've
just
got daddy
process them
issues.
differently.
Look at them.
Xerxes hides them better.
The whole universe is just a result of daddy issues.
I mean, yeah, that's fitting for most mythos.
Yeah.
Especially one made by you.
Yeah, look, especially one for you to play in. Especially
Here's
one
the
for
thing.
you.
Here's the thing. Xerxes is the older of the two.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah.
in like a sibling dynamic, even if they are like immortal being or like divine beings, right? So or not divine beings, but like long-lived individuals, there's a dynamic that happens where the older individual tends to and it lines up with Xerxes and the Lord of Decay, where there's faith from the older sibling and a sense of double betrayal from the younger one because they weren't protected even through 2 layers. So there's this protectiveness behind of it, which is why
This is a genius.
Mhm.
This is a genius.
You too.
So something happened to bring us back into the game.
Players about to stop the entire game, just break down the entire fucking conversation between the two and microanalyze.
Something happened after they reached here. Cal, did Xerxes mention that at all?
What do you mean?
I want to know if Xerxes brought it up because I don't want to breach his privacy. If he didn't tell you for a reason.
So Des, Xerxes mentioned how much? Going to Ravenwall?
Yeah, but they did not mention anything about the Dark Flame or what turned them tiefling. I don't know if Xerxes actually mentioned that he wasn't always tiefling. I don't think.
No.
Did not.
He mentioned going to a place named Ravenwell, and that things changed. Well, that was
Okay.
that's where it ended.
Then I would rather talk to Xerxes again before I say anything about that. Not in wanting to keep it from you. But if Xerxes isn't comfortable with that part of the story being talked about, in no bad way, but especially considering how close you are, Donnie, with him, if that's something that he wishes to keep private, I would like to respect that for him. Understanding that brothers don't always get along, and that
They have a difficult dynamic.
yes, and
I
if the
haven't
Lord
really
of
pressed
Decay
it.
told me in the hopes of me telling everybody, with the hopes of potentially annoying or hurting Xerxes through that, I would rather remain
That's
I think they're two
outside of
ideas
that
in one.
equation for as long as possible.
their
Potentially.
fight to fight.
It is.
They talk every Thursday.
They do.
What's a
Yeah.
Thursday?
Yeah.
They talk every whatever the Quenthos Thursday is.
Yeah, you can check
you.
on the World
Yeah,
Apple. There's
yeah.
a calendar.
The Quentian Thursday. Sounds like a one shot. A Quentian Thursday.
But also, I don't think it's anything that directly pertains to anything that we're going through right now.
No.
But apparently, we need to try to find the ritual rubies and rubosa, or rubosa and rubies in the prime material, I guess, if that's a thing. More information about Lazefrican, apparently trying to find a plane that will weaken him, that we can potentially try to lure him to, which shouldn't be too hard because antagonizing him is very easy.
There's Nathan knows this, but I don't know if Donnie does. Samael has the rights of ascension, right?
Samael's believed to have had a copy of the Rites of Ascension. I
Yeah,
don't
he pinched
believe
it,
Donnie knows.
Right? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't believe Donnie knows. I don't believe many people. I think that's something you and I have talked about.
Yeah.
But that's not something Donnie knows.
To Merc's knowledge, Nemevana is the one that ascended first, or they all four of them ascended at the same time? Mm-hmm. Stands to reason that Nemevana may know of the rites of ascension, perhaps? Would be worth asking.
You could reach
they
out.
get their strength back.
Honestly, we really need to speak with some of our allies again.
Yeah, we do.
We've learned a lot.
Speaking of powering up, stuff looks pretty good.
True.
I mean, Calasindia, you could probably use a second hand to wield it, but...
Anything to make Calasindia better at combat.
Indeed.
Literally anything.
It does
I
look.
don't know. It didn't give me good vibes.
Of course it didn't. It's
Oh,
an item
meant
of
to
pure
destroy worlds.
destruction created by the Void Dragon.
if it made me feel happy things, I would be shocked.
Concerned.
But no, I will not be accepting it.
At least for right now. It depends on how desperate we get.
I hope to avoid too much desperation.
I mean, I
Uphill struggle
agree.
and hardship, absolutely, but that much desperation, hopefully not.
I mean, considering that the outcome could still happen regardless.
Are we not desperate?
I thought so.
Depends on the
Like,
levels
we
of
were, yes.
desperation. There are certain things I would not. There are certain things that I would still not do. Often.
I mean, yes, being in the room for more than 5 minutes with that asshole, sure, but...
But thankfully, that was an offer that wasn't time gated.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it is something that we can potentially.
Oh, it stinks of a trap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, everything
But...
that the Lord of Decay does. Because there's potential it could be used later.
It reminds me, I
Stop
was
them wiping out.
staring daggers at him. What was the cost of taking this,
The body.
The body of Lezefican. For him to study and do what he wills with it, and the ideal that we would seal Lezefican rather than outright kill him.
I feel like that was a cherry on top.
But that was the deal. Not to mention the artifact is not something to be wielded, from my understanding. And I do not entirely trust him when he said it would be easier on me because of the shards.
I got the feeling that it might be easier because it could destroy a shard.
No, I don't.
He said lessen the burden of it.
I understand
You
the
said
suspicion.
it can make your connection to your soul better.
He did say lessen the burden as well, I'm pretty sure.
I understand your suspicion. But at the end of the day, if you couldn't wield the staff, all that would do is complicate things for him. Number one, he has an exceedingly powerful artifact that he's just going to hand to somebody, so only for them to die when they try to use it and for it to not work, so he loses it. That doesn't make sense. I understand the suspicion. But
Wait, you
that
all
doesn't
know
make
we're going
sense.
to die in that fight with the Lezefican. You all know that, right?
I mean, the goal is to not, but it's very likely, yes.
See how the cards fall, I think. Gonna try my hardest not to.
I mean, it would probably happen, but I kind of refuse to think that way just for the fact that I don't want to leave my kids.
Also, that's the aim of Samael, isn't it? This is a test run for us being powerful entities to go up against the Void Dragon. Isn't that his plan?
No,
Oh, no,
not
we are
anymore. His plan was for you to best him or die to him. You're
We're
off
in
plan.
uncharted territories for Samael.
Yeah.
I thought he then went, oh, well then, this is the next step above that.
No, he said this could be. You convinced him to try and go again, not work
Uncharted.
within a vision.
Yeah.
So he's like, this could help. This maybe.
Oh.
I think
Yeah.
it is. I think it is pertinent to. I mean, we're not going to be here after the fight. If the body lands with the boss's brother, then there are worse places for it to be.
True.
And I'm being pragmatic, not defeatist.
And
then
let's say we don't take the
costs
staff.
Well, then we're in a much more difficult situation for success.
And if we don't take the staff and we somehow still manage to win, if somehow I end up getting the last hit, it still ends up there anyways.
Yes.
I don't like it. I don't think he ever makes a deal where he's not in favor, but
Of course not.
he's not in the business of
Oh, no.
win-win.
May I ask you both a question, though? How long have we been searching for a means to kill a god?
Us specifically, or do you also include the
specifically.
time of our allies?
Us
We
specifically.
haven't. We haven't even started.
Precisely.
How
I'm
much
not
time
a-
do we have to search?
We don't know. But I'm not going to accept this immediately or any close time before we've had any real chance to search.
Oh, no, of course not. I'm not saying that you can, which is why one of my first questions was, is this a time-gated offer?
He seemed to think it had some reasonable limit to that, though.
Oh, no, he just prefers it when things are decided so he doesn't have to keep up with them. You could ask him at any time. He said there is no limit. If there was a limit, he would tell you.
The staff destroys Celestial Realm, right? That's what he said. It's
It unmakes
Barry destroyed the
Celestials.
entire celestial realm.
Cynthia, does this put your dying god in jeopardy?
No.
They're not celestials.
Old gods are not celestials. They're not tied to Rabosa.
Puts our gods in jeopardy.
Their world
My
already
gods in
died.
jeopardy, I could say.
But it does put the universe out of balance.
It's already out of balance.
Precisely, so let's not unbalance it anymore by destroying another world.
And who said that we were going to destroy the entire plane?
When wielding an artifact like this, I don't know how predictable it may be on Rabosa if we were to activate it there.
Then maybe instead of being antagonistic and sassy, we should have asked more questions.
Well, this is what I do not understand. You see, the Divine Observer, according to the story that we were just told, the Void Dragon was created in response to the Divine Observer. Is that not correct?
Sorry, could you say that again?
The Void Dragon was created or willed into existence as a response to the Divine Observer.
Yes, but he's a being in three parts. The old gods here broke him apart. And
Indeed.
so he's no longer the Void Dragon right now.
So, if we were to hypothetically allow Xerxes and the Lord of Decay to reinvent the realms that were lost and recreate them, what's to say is that something else wouldn't come to take that place, even if the Void Dragon wasn't whole again? There's a bigger picture here.
Oh,
There
yes.
always is.
True.
I-
I guess that depends on what the antithesis to Xerxes and Decay are. Is it the 13 artifacts? Because if that's the case, then there's nothing to worry about. If there is no antithesis, then there is something to worry about.
There must be an antithesis, and I believe that you are correct.
In which way?
In
Because
the way
if
that the
brothers,
artifacts are the antithesis. The brothers
Then
were
the-
created as a response to the 13 realms.
then if a realm was recreated, then there shouldn't be any cost as far as another something being willed into existence, because they're already there. Now, if a 14th realm was created, that would be another story.
Hypothetically. If it is even possible.
My wonder is. Sorry. Decay spoke of the Divine Observer in the past tense. If the Void Dragon can be broken, is the same thing true of the Divine Observer?
Theoretically, I
We
imagine
are
if they
just-
both.
We
Awesome.
are planning
I will,
on how to kill a god.
I'll clarify one thing for everyone, just to get like timeline in mind. So combining Lord of Decay's story and Xerxes' story, the Void Dragon and the Divine Observer are basically the two beings that created the universe. Not what they were like they're two prime force of creation destruction. Not one was made in response to another. That's just the way the Lord of Decay perceived it in the story he gave you.
Mhm.
I imagine they're both being similar in nature, both utmost beings of creation destruction. That if one can be split into pieces, the other can.
And they'd be mirror images of each other, surely. Or at least in essence, mirror images.
I have so many more
Creation
questions than I
destruction.
had before.
Why don't we just not focus on this at the moment and just kill a lich?
I think that's a good idea.
I have a feeling
I think
that
we'll.
It's too late, Merc. It's already happening.
I mean, we're all talking as we're walking, so you know.
Well, thank you. Now,
we're
without someone
walk-
doing this, I thought the party had stood still.
We're walking, but
That
we're
helped my
walking
depth
slowly
perception, thank
because
you.
we're talking. Ah.
But you can't talk and walk fast?
I mean,
not when we're talking about fucking big world-shattering events.
It's an important thing to discuss, though. I mean, regardless of the outcome of this or not, it would be very pertinent. If one of us is to live afterwards, then the Void Dragon information regarding it is why we're doing this, ultimately, in the long run, one of the main reasons.
True.
I know it's a lot of big, scary thoughts
we
Which
have
every-
in a very small world.
Everything for the past few months has been nothing but scary thoughts since waking up from that nightmare.
But this is bigger and scarier than, a lot of the things we've dealt with. Is it not?
I mean, it feels like the normal progression of everything we've been through.
well,
Everything has gotten
understand,
bigger and bigger and bigger the whole time.
from what I understand from an outside perspective, we have just been given plenty of information to work with.
True.
There are many paths that we can take that do not involve the staff. There are many things that do not involve any mentions of bringing back the Void Dragon even. There are many things that we can do and keep an eye out for, and a return visit to the Lord of Decay may be in the future, regardless, but for right now, we have priorities, and we must maintain those. Otherwise, there is no attempting to fix what Xerxes and the Lord of Decay have set out to do.
True. So then what do you want to do while we walk then? Because I mean, it's not like we have a whole lot to do.
I mean, we could play I Spy like the guards were doing, but I think that.
Right, I'm going to choose to drift off into my inner thoughts. I'll see you in a few hours.
Kyle's continuing this
I Spy
conversation with the
my
voice in his
little
head.
eye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Well, if you're fairly dexterous, then we could perhaps try to make some beaded jewelry while we make our way there. Commemorate
I can
this
absolutely do that.
treasure or this journey that we are taking.
So
I will drop all the beads. Don't give them to me.
No,
Those
you are
beads
not getting any of
dexterous.
the beads.
Yeah, you don't get anything.
All right, cool. I Spy with my little eye.
Oh God, please save us.
So
Honey.
as you make your way further and further towards Gromathir's lair, that is where we're going to end the session. But first things first, Zeph, can you roll me initiative?
Good.
What'd you get?
22.
Perfect. You just asked could you roll initiative before the session was over today, so there you go. We will
Wait,
be live again on Friday and Sunday. Um, such a troll move.
Fuck you, Des.
That is
Um,
such a dick.
We will not have a Kingslayers next Monday, though. You guys have to sit and stew on this information.
Yeah.
At least there's
yeah.
a lot to stew on.
Cringe.
It's a decent bit to stew on, but I will be starting a new job next Monday, so there'll be no Kingslayers next Monday. We will get a schedule out for another couple streams next week. We'll figure out days. But other than that, we'll be live again this Friday and Sunday with definitely a D&D Academy on Friday, and then possibly a new idea of Sunday if we can get something together in time, or if not, World Building.
Yeah, maybe.
Other than that,
Yeah.
thanks so much for hanging out. We've got a big donut goal up there, 145 out of 2,500. So we're trying to raise money to get an animated intro for campaign 3. We've got a bunch of cool stretch goals that we're trying to work towards. We're very close to playing Phasmophobia or some form of horror game on stream, me and Rav, which will be fun. We're $5 away from that. Other than that, if and you know I'll be balls enough. If we can hit 250 by next Thursday, I've promised to do the spicy noodle challenge. Only drinking Wilk, which is a very nice meme of the channel. Only whiskey and milk will be.
How
sorry,
good.
correction. My only
How good.
available drink while doing the spicy noodles. Thanks.
Only
Vicky.
available.
But I'm confident we don't hit 250 by next week, so I'm willing to shit talk that. Okay. Not even next week. That's this Thursday. So
This
that
Thursday.
won't
This
happen.
Thursday. So like, there's a very limited window, but if we manage to reach it,
We don't have a stream
I've shot
between now
myself-
and Thursday, Raph. What? Do you... Get wrecked.
My plan has been ruined.
But other than that, thank you so much for hanging out. We'll see you next time. Bye.
See you guys.